Okay, and we are live. Hello, everyone. This is your King Billy, and this is going to be another Age of Shitlords. This is number 6 to be exact. So it is entitled The Black Ethnostate. So for those of you who don't get the reference, we're going to be talking a bit about Black Panther this stream. So you guys can introduce yourselves.
Hi, it's Ricardo here. Check me out on Twitter, Ricardo Saraceno. And it's going to be playing Sonic, so you'll probably hear some cursing coming out of me.
And it's Florence sleeping again. Yeah, I got nothing much to say.
Okay. So basically, you guys since you guys know that Black Panther came out and stuff, there's been a lot of virtue signaling involved with trying to push the film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I watched this really funny review about where this guy tears into Black Panther, like the film, where how the movie works is kind of logically flawed in the sense that the nation is isolationist and yet is also technologically advanced, but it still has some parts that seem very backwards, which kind of makes no sense given the technology that they have.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Did you guys see them film or no?
Not yet, but I've heard about it, so you don't have to worry about spoilers.
So you don't mind spoilers? Okay. So basically, it seems like they have. So in the comic books, there are normally two types of Wakandas. There's like the Wakanda that is primitive still. They just happen to have some advanced technology, like weaponry and stuff. Like in the Ultimate Avengers sequel, because that's kind of what they did with the animated film that featured Black Panther, years ago. And then there's also Wakanda with advanced technology where it looks like it's kind of modernized, But with this film, it's like they tried doing both, which looks it just seems inconsistent, looks weird because like they have flying vehicles and flying like ships, but they also still have very old-fashioned style, like markets, like you would see in like Cairo or in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, you can kind of look at that from the trailer,
Yeah, and then not to mention in order to become king, they have to go through like blood sports, like the strongest rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty backwards for like a nation that apparently has had access to this advanced metal for like over 10,000 years. So they literally are technologically ahead of most of the rest of the world. And yet they basically have these very primitive, cultural like stuff.
I'm not exactly sure if there's actually ever been a culture that's been like that, one that's like politically backwards and yet technologically forwards. Like, does that actually happen?
Not really, because you look at actual real life, cultures that are very isolationist tend to not advance very well, Like it's kind of shown that human culture tends to actually become more advanced as people, as the culture begins to expand, economically, politically, and, in sense of power as well, It's like ancient Rome. Like ancient Rome became like advanced far quicker when they started expanding out into other territories, conquering lands.
That ended well for them.
It didn't. It's a rubber band thing where when you expand too far, it's going to break. It's like if a rubber band gets pulled too far, it'll snap, and that's what happened to Rome. And not to mention they had all sorts of civil wars, and plague also killed a lot of their population. So yeah, but it's just kind of shown that technologically, isolationism tends to not really help in the long run when it comes to advancing. It's like how China used to expand very far, but then at one point they had like an entire dynasty or generation of Chinese that just were focused on themselves and didn't want to expand anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like we got Super Dark War in here.
Oh, hey.
Yeah,
I guess.
let me find some headphones real quick.
Oh, sure, yeah. But again, so that's just the flaw of Black Panther is they think that like in an isolationist country, all that technology, they're still going to basically be super advanced. I mean, it's like, I mean, they had access to this vibranium for like 10,000 years, and they never once thought that they were going to basically expand and conquer like the rest of the continent. I mean, it just makes no sense. I mean, look at the Mongols. Like the Mongols, through the use of horseback and archery, conquered most of Asia and had the largest land empire in the history of human civilization.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just, to me, it's just like Black Panther is just logically flawed in several ways, and it just doesn't make sense really. Because like, for me, it's like if they wanted Wakanda to be like have that almost, you know, traditional African like theme to it, they should have just gone with like Ultimate Avengers 2. Because I mean, have you seen that film, Ultimate Avengers 2, the animated movie?
I think I've seen it a long time ago, but that was on Cartoon Network. I think that was
Yeah, because basically in that film, Wakanda looks like an isolated African nation. Like people are still dressed in tribal uniforms. You know, it looks traditional. It's just under the whole city of Wakanda, which itself looks like a very old style city. They have the vibranium, or yeah, they have the vibranium mining, which they use to turn to weaponry. And that's basically it. It's just weaponry because people still use spears and all that stuff, but they also have secret weaponry that they use in case of an invasion. Yeah, which to me makes more sense than just having a city that on the one hand has flying vehicles and all sorts of, I mean, literally the movie has implied that you can do so much stuff with the vibranium. It's like insane what they can make and stuff. And yet their economy still looks like it's a third world country with like those like markets. And I think people are still like farming, like someone like some people farm animals like rhinos, which is just weird given like, you know, with that sort of technology, you think that the economy would be more modernistic like ours.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to me, it's like the film, it just seems logically flawed. And it's like you're just supposed to suspend a lot of disbelief, that suspend a lot of I don't know, rational thought that you like of like how a society like this could just pop up.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to find headphones.
Okay, we're talking about how like Black Panther seems like kind of logically flawed, given how the society is like isolationist, and yet they have so much modern technology and flying cars, and still have like almost third world country-esque markets in the city of Wakanda.
Yeah, I really liked that aspect. What I didn't like is people talking about how it's a phenomenon. How is it a phenomenon? Blade was a phenomenon. Spawn was a phenomenon. Well, this is not a phenomenon movie.
But to me, that just seems logically dumb, kind of, where it's kind of like, you know, there's super advanced technology, and yet it just feels, it doesn't feel consistent. Like it's like they wanted two things, or they wanted it both ways without thinking that hurts the. I don't know. It just to me just looks weird and seems illogical. Like, did you watch Ultimate Avengers?
Oh, my 2? Water bottle. Okay.
Wait, did you watch Ultimate Avengers 2, the animated film?
Which one?
Ultimate Avengers 2, the animated films. They made 2 animated films featuring. Yeah, like that Wakanda was better. I think was a better representation because it was an isolated Wakanda. And everything was traditionalist looking. It's just that they happen to have secret weapons that they mined from the vibranium that they only used in the case of an invasion. Everything else felt consistent.
I guess they did kind of overplay the whole technological advancements thing.
Yeah, because
what you're meaning.
Yeah, like I mean, my point.
Box office movie though, they want to milk all the CG and stuff.
Yeah, but my point is, if you're going to have flying
I just didn't
cars
like how Black
all
Panther
that stuff,
barely ever wore his mask. I don't like how he really didn't fight any bad guys. Like it was like the movie should have been called Wakanda.
Well, I think some actors don't like having their face covered.
So you seen it, Polo, or Super, or Dark Water, whatever you're going by this week?
What did you say?
You seen the movie? You've seen Black Panther?
Did I see Black Panther?
Yeah.
You keep cutting out, bro. What'd you say?
Have you seen Black Panther?
Yeah, I made a video about it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess the thing is that, well, see, some actors don't like having their face covered, which is probably why they're out of the suit a lot, just because, you know, it's so they can act.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Or
I understand that. I just feel like I just wish he wore the mask more because I feel like he barely ever wore it. I don't know.
Yeah,
And I
another
also
flaw I have
like
with the
the
film.
Civil War. I like the Civil War costume more than the one he wore in this movie.
Yeah, see, another flaw I found with the film is that they kind of made it sound like most of his powers are just from the suit and the fruit that he eats that gives him the Black Panther powers, you know? Whereas in Ultimate Avengers, there was no hint that he ate fruit. It was just like he wore the costume and had some gadgets, but most of that was all his own skill. Like he was fighting.
Yeah, I like that it was his own skill.
Yeah, but in this movie, it's literally like without that fruit, he could probably get killed very easily. Like he wouldn't last very long in a fight with a skilled opponent. Which I thought was kind of.
I need to rewatch Captain America: Civil War. I need to watch that again.
Yeah, because also weird thing about this is that it's like it's brought up in a review I watched where if they have lots of those fruit that give Black Panthers powers, why didn't they give those fruit to all of their honor guards and stuff? Because that doesn't really make any sense. You know, if you have this fruit that essentially is a super soldier serum, you're going to give it to like a squad of people and stuff and make multiple suits to, you know, to basically defend your country in case of an attack and stuff.
Oh, look. Yeah. Did you guys notice how they had I don't know what it's from, Secret Wars or something, the gold plated costume that he didn't wear? They just like had it up there. Remember that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It was like the gold spikes or whatever. Oh, that one's too flashy, but maybe later. Did you see that part?
Yeah, I think I saw that. I saw the review. Yeah.
You're the only one.
What is that from? Which comic is that costume from?
I have no idea. I'm not too familiar with much of Black Panther's lore.
I think it's from like it's from a major Marvel event though. That's why I can't remember. Maybe Marvel Knights. Okay. Maybe the Marvel Knights.
I have no idea. All I know is that it's just. Also, another weird thing about the film is that it looks like almost all of the technological like gadgets and all that stuff is basically made by like what is it? Is it his sister or one of the women of Wakanda and stuff?
Shuri.
Yeah, that's his sister, right? Who's making all the technology and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that right, Super Dark?
His sister?
Who's the entire all that technology is made by one woman, right? It's like shown or hinted at in the film. Looks like.
Yeah, it's Shuri.
I think she was just the head of that department. It seemed like there was other people working there.
Really? It made it look like there wasn't. It was just her making all that like
in like the first scene.
Throughout the film, it almost makes it look like all the gadgets are made by her. There's no other people really doing it.
Huh? It seemed like she had made it seemed like she had worked on or made a few items. I didn't get the impression that she made every single one of them, but I could be wrong, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not okay because that was one thing I noticed in like someone made a review about that saying that it seemed like there were no other scientists in Wakanda, basically. And then there's like the whole like a guy who herds rhinos, which doesn't really make much sense.
They heard rhinos for what?
The rhinos thing was just like the whatever the freaking animals were in Star Wars.
They eat them?
Last Jedi.
You mean what? To milk their cow or something? Like milk like a cow? Wait, was it to like milk a cow or something? Like you mean that? Oh, you there, Super Dark?
Got fucking mic issues.
Yeah, you were just cutting out. What's up?
I'm saying, what do you mean, like, what? Like, what do you mean, like, herd the rhinos? Like, you mean for milk?
You cut off again, bro. Sorry, what'd you say?
I'm saying, you mean like for milk? Because that's why I heard rhinos.
No, not the milk part. Remember when like the Asian girl and the black guy went and tried to save all those animals, like the alien horses in Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what the rhinos thing reminded me of, kind of.
Yeah, but they were herding them, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, what is the purpose of herding rhinos? Because other than it seems like they're only there just to set up the whole climactic battle at the end. because so far as I know, there's like literally no real reason to like domesticate and herd rhinos.
Yeah, I think it was something to do with they use them in battle, or if they need to use them for war. I think that was what they were there for.
Yeah, and the flaw in that is you have flying vehicles, and you can also create super weapons. I mean, why would you need a rhino in battle when you have super weapons? I mean, it just like some people. I know some people are also complaining about the overuse of spears in the film when they could clearly make weapons.
So how do they get energy?
It's all from vibranium.
Vibranium creates energy out of nothing?
I guess so.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, it just seems with the movie, it's like they are trying to have an art aesthetic of like a traditional like African like society by mixing with technology. But in that case, it just looks weird because you have flying cars. You can also like make energy weapons, but they form into spears and stuff.
Is there a Black Panther story in the comics that actually makes sense of the whole Wakanda thing, the world building?
It seems like in some comic books, they either go high technology and have to be consistently, like they have guns and all that stuff. And in other stories, it's kind of like, aside from maybe a couple of weaponry, it's all like a traditional African society, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I think
they try to do it both ways.
Yeah, I feel like they probably could have just gone the whole technologically advanced side and just left out all the rural type of stuff, or they like go either or. Don't just like try to do both at the same time, because then it'll be kind of confusing,
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to give off an alien society, really, which makes no sense because these are human beings, and human beings do have a tendency to have similar, when they do something, when they have advanced technology, they tend to sometimes go in the same direction of how they use technology.
Yeah, I actually kind of figured that before Black Panther, before Civil War, when Age of Ultron, when they were in Africa, I actually kind of thought that maybe Wakanda would have been like the most heavily advanced, the most highly advanced city in or kingdom in Africa. But that you see all these the African city in Age of Ultron, and you think that maybe they might do a contrast where, you have this city, which is really rural, like it's just not really as advanced. And then when you get to Wakanda, there's just like it's way more,
But here's the weird thing is that Wakanda, it is literally blocked by a force. There's like literally a force field that creates an illusion of there not being a city. It's an illusionary force field that makes it look like a mountain, but it disappears when they go through it and stuff and become, you basically see Wakanda, the actual city. And it's like you have the advanced technology to create force fields and illusions like Harry Potter style type of stuff. And you are literally, you have parts of your city that still look like you're in a third world country, and you're still on an absolutist monarchy-like society. I mean, it makes no sense that they're like, that they have an absolute monarchist society with all that technology and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I think
because it's not a democracy. It's like, it's just weird. Yeah.
Or I don't know how you guys would actually feel if, say, Wakanda was actually like the surface was, if it were an underground technological kingdom, and then on top was the more, I guess you can say, on top was the back, like
the facade.
Yeah, kind of where they could actually,
that would have been fine. I mean, I guess that would have been fine. Just me personally, I feel like they should have just gone with Ultimate Avengers 2, the template that they made, and it would have worked. And I just feel like T'Challa, like how they explain how he gets his powers and who he is, it kind of diminishes him because it seems like, you know, like Batman has gadgets and a suit, but he still has to train in all his martial arts to be Batman, you know? Like there's more to him than just the gadgets and suit he wears. Whereas with T'Challa, it's like take away though that, you know, that fruit and his suit, and he basically is kind of no one.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know, it just seems to me it's like, yeah, it's like Black Panther. It's like, and the thing is, a lot of people saying, well, that's no different than Tony Stark. But here's the thing: is Tony Stark actually made his own suits, you know? So Tony Stark actually, you know, Tony Stark actually created like the things that made him Iron Man, whereas T'Challa, all that stuff is basically given to him.
Yeah, I mean, that's how Black Panther's kind of been in the comics. He's always been just kind of like Bruce Wayne or Tony Stark, kind of.
Yeah, just except that he didn't build any of his technology; it was built for him, and it seems like yeah, he just has to eat a fruit to get his powers.
Yeah, I always kind of thought that it was. I kind of thought that Black Panther was like a little bit like the Phantom, where I guess maybe I could be wrong about the Phantom stuff too, but I kind of thought that Black Panther was what got his powers through, like I guess magic or something like that. But you know, I'm not really too brushed up on a lot of comics recently. So I mean, I'm reading them, just that. You know, it's
so basically, according to the movie, this is the movie. The comic books might vary from each other, but in the movie, there's this fruit that when you they have this fruit that they grow in like a secret garden, basically, and when it is crushed into a juice, so you're drinking basically super fruit juice, you basically get, you know, heightened strength, heightened speed, heightened senses, and all that stuff, you know, so you can become the Black Panther. It's like apparently the fruit, it was like the fruit I think grows from vibranium. It's something weird. It's I think the fruit might grow from vibranium, and they also mention like, you know, the Black Panther god, you know, like Bast or whatever his name is.
I'm suddenly thinking of One Piece right now.
Yeah, it is kind of like One Piece. Yeah, you can say that. But that's kind of what the movie implies, is that, you know, you have this fruit that is not even that. It's not exactly like, oh, you only get once every, I don't know, 50 years or whatever. It's like, oh, there's plenty of fruit. So you could literally give your entire, you know, your entire military forces fruit and make them really powerful.
Yes, I kind of am expecting one of these days that later on that someone might end up making a world building video on Black Panther. I kind of want to hear what other people have to say about that.
You mean explain Black Panther like the comic book character?
Oh no, just the world building in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've been kind of trying to make my own comic recent. Well, I mean, not me. I'm actually collabing with someone, but we are actually with Geeky Bugle, and well, I mean, we were, but it's kind of we're both on break right now. But one of the comics that we're actually making is ancient. What is a Mayan, kind of like a Jaguar God comic with the I guess you can say like Mayan sort
like
of influence.
Or wait, yeah. Aztec or Mayan?
Mayan, like Balaam, the Jaguar god. He like it's supposed to be a secret society. Well, I've yet to kind of figure out what the world is going to be like for Balaam, but as far as I know, it's technologically advanced. I guess you can say just like Wakanda, it's supposed to be technologically advanced, and yet kind of. I think I might end up cutting that part out where it's cut off from the world. That instead,
you should go with the Aztecs. Aztecs are cool because they're like a blood sacrifice.
Yeah, I'll probably think about that.
I mean, they're both in Mexico. They're just on two separate sides. I think like the Mayans are on the east side and the Aztecs are on the west side.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, because the Aztecs have Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I did the same summer thing where I made a short story involving vampires, and they are Aztec vampires. That's usually why they commit blood sacrifices.
Oh yeah, like classic vampires.
Like,
Or
well, these vampires transform into humanoid animals, so kind of like because Aztec gods tend to be anthropomorphic, kind of like the Egyptians.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that, where it's like they're kind of part were creature, part vampire, but they do sustain off of blood and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of had a similar concept, except that it's kind of different, but let's just say it's more scientifically explained than magic or
Yeah, I like my vampires to be magical or have some supernatural explanation. I find the scientific stuff. I mean, because what is it? Underworld uses a scientific explanation because in Underworld, essentially, two brothers. Sorry, what was it? Oh yeah, sorry. There were two brothers. Their dad was the only survivor from a plague that ravaged his tribe or village, and his body took the disease and adapted to it, which made him immortal. And then his sons developed this trait. And when they got bitten, one got bitten by a bat and turned into a vampire, another got bitten by a wolf and turned into a werewolf. And that explains how vampires and werewolves exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually liked the Underworld movies, but I feel like from Underworld Awakening and onward, it just kind of got really, it got like dumber.
Wait,
from
how many movies
Awakening.
are? Because was Awakening the last one?
No, it was Awakening, then Bloodlines, and I think they're going to make a sixth one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Awakening was bad. I mean, number 3 was kind of lame too, because they want to just have a prequel with a romance in it. But like number 1 and 2, I thought were really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of too bad they killed off like the Corvinuses, because I feel like that would have made some extra cool sequels.
Yeah, and I know they have an anime based on that, so I think I'll probably watch that too.
What's this?
Underworld.
What's the anime, Florence?
I think I don't know if it's an anime or if it's a video game, but I know there's an Underworld.
Oh, it's called Underworld?
The series is called Underworld, but hold on.
No, there was a book.
Okay.
1 second. I have to give Walt the Hangout link. Walt, you piece of shit! Hurry up. But yeah, I know that there was a book of Underworld, but I'm not sure if there was anime. But like, I know a pretty good anime vampire series around. Like, I think Blood Plus was one of them.
Oh yeah.
It's called Underworld Endless War. I think that's the anime. Yeah, it's the animated film. It's based on the Underworld series. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, what's that again?
Underworld Endless War. It's a movie.
No, not fine.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of like, it's kind of like that whole that Batman, Gotham Knight movie that was like an anime film that had was like an anthology. It looks like it's a anthology anime film.
Yeah, I've always kind of liked the whole of that kind of style of that kind of style. Like, I mean, I don't know how you guys kind of feel about it. Like the never mind.
Yeah. What the style of what?
Well,
Oh, are you guys gonna watch Ninja Batman or Batman Ninja? It's
right.
it's Batman for weebs, basically.
Looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, Batman with the sword. You know, actually, that'd be kind of cool. You know, I really hope that DC, because I really hope that DC actually starts, you know, giving some, letting different Japanese creators make their own, you know, versions of the DC universe characters. Like, it would be pretty cool to, what was it? Like, say if Akira Toriyama got to like write a story for Superman and they made an anime film out of it.
oh, which story?
Oh, a Superman story, and they made an anime film out of it. Like, say he wrote the story for an anime film that's like an anime film for Superman.
Oh, yeah.
And then you could like pop some like jokes about like, you know, how similar Goku and Superman are.
Yeah, I feel like the one movie that came close to anime was All Stars. No, not All Star. It was of oh crap. It was
there was an anime Batman film like Gotham Knight. That was anime.
hold on.
It's set in the Oh, what you say, Gual?
What is up? Sorry, y'all. No, damn. They did a right before the Dark Knight Joker movie. They had episodes that were all done by different anime artists. That was really cool.
Yeah, it's set in the same world as the Dark Knight trilogy. It's just it's done by anime. It's like an anthology kind of series. It's like in between, like the Dark Knight and Batman Begins.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. It was actually done really well. It was kind of like the Animatrix sort of.
Yeah, see, that's what I was telling Florence and Ricardo was that it'd be kind of cool if DC basically, you know, picked a pool of like anime creators, like manga creators, and asked them to like write a story for a different DC hero, and basically they would make an anime movie off of it. Like, say, Akira Toriyama could be given Superman or Green Lantern, and basically write a story for him. And then they make an animated movie off of it.
They've done that a couple times with some Marvel franchises. I remember an Iron Man, an X-Men, and a Blade.
Yeah, but I just like to see DC do it because I think, especially how DC is made, I think it would work a lot better because DC, well, is political at times. I just feel like Marvel, their politics might look weird to the Japanese, whereas DC traditionally is less like that.
Marvel's politics looks weird to everybody. Let's be honest. Anybody fucking.
I mean, Americans kind of get it, but Japanese won't get it, you know.
Oh yeah, but
like the X-Men, I feel like their politics wouldn't really make sense to the Japanese to an extent.
It was interesting how it was done before with the Japanese. I mean, especially with a manga artist or whatever, they totally got the personalities wrong as far as like Cyclops and Wolverine and stuff like that. It was funny. It was cool to watch. I'll say that. It was interesting to watch a different take on it.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, it would just be an animated film. But, I mean, that would be kind of cool, right? To see, like, Akira Toriyama, you know, do, like, his version of Green Lantern, you know? Like, you get to hear the Dragon Ball Z-esque sound effects of Green Lantern Energy Blast.
Like, hell yeah. That would be wild.
Because, like, a Green Lantern ring can blow up a planet. Because, actually, I think they confirmed that, those rings could potentially blow up a planet.
Yeah,
if taken to the degree,
It definitely could because it restarted our sun. You know what I'm saying? Like, it in what was that, Darkest Night, if I'm not mistaken.
Can't remember. But
yeah,
you know,
it was back in the 90s.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool because also Akira Toriyama is really good at designing aliens as well. So it'd be like, you know, that would definitely play to his strength to have like either a Superman or a Green Lantern story that he could just write and stuff, and then just, you know, then like an anime studio makes it into an anime film.
Hell yeah. I mean, it could be done. I do think there would be gaps, like as far as accuracy and also.
Well, it's basically, think of it like an Elseworld, basically, where it's like this is an Elseworld, but this is Japanese anime, so it's like the Japanese Elseworld, or you know, they could call it like JDC or DCJ, like DC Japan, basically, or it's just a series of short manga and anime films.
Hell
that
yeah.
basically have, and then like you could give like who could do it? Like you could give Kishimoto, the creator of Naruto, like some like like I don't know. I'm trying to think of who he could take and stuff.
It was a very different culture, of course, but there was a Chinese Superman, and that was an interesting look.
Yeah, that would be kind of obvious. I feel like that'd be a little too obvious, but like you could give Kishimoto like Wonder Woman or some other type of fantasy style hero, and he can adapt it.
Personally, I think that I'm not sure if you guys would agree with me on this, but the one series that I actually would think would be kind of good for an anime adaptation would be The Runaways, because The Runaways, I've kind of read the comic a little bit, and it does kind of have a little bit like manga, sort of.
Yeah,
Like,
I can see it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and then like a guy who does My Hero Academia could like basically do like Teen Titans. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, and then like you could also like have like Akira Tori. I think sorry, Kishimoto like he'd definitely either do like a Teen Titans series if he wanted to, because Naruto Part 1 and Teen Titans could be very similar.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then like you could basically turn like I don't know like Beast Boy and like Jaime, or like Robin and Jaime into like Naruto and Sasuke.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. I mean, after all, Starfire already swoons over Robin or Nightwing and stuff, kind of like Sakura and the Sasuke.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, I mean, they did have a romance, or whatever.
And then you could and then because they did that with the DC Nation, did this with the DC Nation shorts, but they could also have like they could have the is it a man or woman who made Sailor Moon?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Okay, I don't know, but whoever is the creator of Sailor Moon, they could give Amethyst, give Amethyst to them. Yeah, because Amethyst had a DC Nation short that was kind of like Sailor Moon, basically, which I thought would be pretty cool if they did that.
Yeah, the creator of Sailor Moon is a woman.
Okay, but they could give her Amethyst and stuff, or they could give like I don't know, they could give like or they could give her like the Gotham City Sirens, or no, Birds of Prey. Sorry, Birds of Prey.
Yeah, those would be pretty good choices.
Yeah, it just seems to me like there's lots of different manga creators that could make some really interesting stories with DC characters, and we could just it's like them and just frame it like an Elseworld, and I'm pretty sure it would sell a lot, because then you get a lot of anime fans who'd want to read it, so you get like an entire crowd of people wanting to read the comics.
Yeah,
well, possibly.
Yeah, because then like people like Naruto said, "Oh yeah, Kishimoto, the creator of Naruto, wrote this, so they're gonna read it." And then the people like Akira Toriyama said, the creator of Dragon Ball Z, are gonna read it. And then you have the anime movie to watch and collect and stuff.
Absolutely. The only problem with that really is they're probably working on their own projects. If you're really trying to like offer it to them, I don't know. Some of them might take it like every once in a while if it was like a.
If they pay, I mean, if I'm saying if they pay them, well, okay. Well, I mean, if they pay them a good amount of money, like say bigger than the average, manga salary, then I think they'll take it definitely, because it'll be an extra, pay. And it seems like manga creators tend to work a lot harder than comic book creators. Like they have longer hours, so I feel like they could probably handle it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It seems like writing manga is a pretty big workload.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comic books are kind of luxurious when you compare the two in terms of how hard you have to work. Like someone like Max would not be in manga for very long.
Wait, who's Max?
Mags.
Oh. No.
Yeah, like given that workload, I think half of the comic book industry would have quit and stuff if they had to have the same workload as manga creators.
Yeah. A lot of when you have jobs, if it wasn't for the right politics, they're protected by their victim status bullshit as far as their jobs, in my opinion. But But no, I definitely think I don't know. Manga just seems more pure of idea, really. Like I mean, it's that
I think
creators.
comic books and manga have a similar amount of ideas. It's just manga isn't hindered by politics. You know, like a little more expression. Whereas comic books have an issue with politics, kind of hurting the industry or format.
Oh yeah. Well, no, it's definitely more uncensored. In creativity, I would say it's a better.
Well, I think just the main problem is just politics. I think take out the politics, manga and comics have basically the same. I think the same amount of creativity and ideas. It's just one has an issue with a bunch of people that are very easily offended, that will bully people into basically losing their jobs or being censored.
Yeah, that's the Western culture as a whole right now.
Well, yeah, and that's all thanks to communism.
Yeah, socialist crazies. It's fucking
socialism, communism, feminism, Black Lives Matter, progressivism. It's all communism.
It's all retarded. Jesus.
I know.
Like, I don't see how people can buy into it.
Yeah, it's just like how hard is it to have a meritocracy? It's like, meritocracy means you're gonna have disbalances in different groups. That's just how it is,
Yeah, when you stop.
I mean, if they believed in equality, then technically the NBA should have a lot of black players who shouldn't be playing because it's like 75% black and stuff. And it's like, in equal society, you should basically cut some of those players and replace them with like whites, Asians, and Hispanics.
Yeah, speaking of retarded Western civilizations, Australia just tried to some stupid ass politician in Australia. She was like the first woman in there to be an officer in their reserves or some shit like that. Wanted to ban all male and female sports and just have a one both sex sports. And I was thinking to myself, if for a feminist, you're pretty stupid because like a lot of the women would not even have jobs.
Again, a lot of the women would get destroyed. Like again, if you play basketball, women are not tall enough. They would just be dominated immediately and stuff. And then if you play something like rugby and football, you're literally just taken down. Again, it's like these idiots think that if you go to your average, if you go to a football field, like a field, and you see people playing, they see men and women playing together and stuff. But again, there's a difference between your average person and professional athletes and stuff.
Oh yeah, like okay, well,
men are just more athletic. Yeah.
Let me put it to you like this: so the 5th ranked women's soccer team in the world is the Australian women's. That's Olympic standings. Those are the best women of the best women period in Australia at playing soccer. Got destroyed by like a high school, or excuse me, not even a high school. It was a middle school,
I heard about that.
Under.
It was I know that story. I read about this story basically. Yeah, I think that was Turf Fleeing Monkey. He did a video on that.
Dude, 7-0 was the score. 7-0. The under 15-year-old boys, like middle school, some fucking no-name high school team, right? Destroyed the 5th place women's fucking soccer team in the entire world. And by the way, that trend continues. It goes. I mean, the U.S. women's soccer team did the same shit. They lost like 5-3. The Australia women's soccer team lost 7-0. From 15-year-old boys. Like, you don't want. Okay, now take those 15-year-old boys when they actually fucking mature and the best. I mean, were just like a fucking middle school team, mind you. Like a no name. It wasn't even like a championship thing or nothing.
See, what's going to happen is they're going to see. I'm not sure if you're aware that the game Quidditch from Harry Potter has been adapted for a real life sport.
Yeah, I've seen those LARPers fucking try that stupid shit.
Okay, well, it's like an actual it's a sport now. So basically, they have this really crazy where like you have to have at least 2 non-male people on the team while playing, like on the field.
I know that, like,
so that's a rule and stuff, which means that, like, if they do this with all sports, we'll probably see that rule be in effect or something like that. They're going to do something bullshit like that.
what you'll see is a bunch of women getting destroyed in fucking rugby. Like the injuries are not going to be good. They're not
Yeah,
going to be able to stop.
but then
them.
what's
They
gonna
better
happen is
just-
they're gonna change the rules, so it's like you can't do this and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, then people will probably stop fucking watching.
Well,
So,
yeah.
like-
Again, it's like those people complaining about how like female athletes aren't getting paid as much as male athletes, and I'm kind of like, that's because your revenue comes based upon how much viewership your sports gets, and it's then I hate to break it to you, but the male sports are going to get more viewership. That's just a fact.
Oh yeah.
Which is
What were
why
you
you're-
saying, Florence?
Yeah.
I'm just asking that Quidditch thing, that they actually have that rule.
Yeah, they have the gender rule. That is a thing in Quidditch, which is why people were bragging online saying it was the most progressive sport out there and stuff because of that retarded rule. So basically, rather than have it based on your merit, you have to even it out and stuff, which is pretty pathetic. Like when I've played and stuff, and it's fun, but when I saw that rule, it was really cringy.
Yeah.
Like-
Oh well, what?
I was gonna say the game that was based off of a fucking Harry Potter book is cringy enough in its own spike. It's the most progressive because that is the gayest thing I've ever fucking heard in my life.
Well,
That
the
is-
sport
That
itself
is a real sport.
well, the sport itself is basically a mix between dodgeball, football, and basketball and rugby. It's like if you take dodgeball, basketball, and rugby and put it together, and you like are running around with a broom between your legs. That's basically what Quidditch is.
They
Yeah.
have professional dodgeball teams. Guess how many girls are on the fucking championship team? That's actually a real sport. Sort of.
How much? How many girls?
0.
Yeah,
None.
but that's the thing is that they want to integrate sports. That's probably going to be the future, where like you have to have a woman on the field or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
one of the rules to Quidditch is that you're allowed to like beat someone with a bat. So I would really
I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think that rule's not there because I think in the official rules that's not allowed because they have an
Well,
official rule book.
Then that is not Quidditch, my friend. They're fucking liars to boot.
Well, again, I mean, they can't really. I mean, it's hard to aim the bludger because the bludgers are kind of like basically dodgeballs.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a fun game to play and stuff. It's just, yeah, that rule was just kind of stupid.
Yeah.
It's just weird having to run with something between your legs and stuff like that. It is kind of odd.
Yeah. Oh, you were saying something?
Not at all. I was laughing.
Yeah, but so anyway, well, earlier we were talking about the Black Panther film and how kind of illogical the world of Wakanda is set up in that film. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
I've seen it, but I mean, it's a basic Marvel movie. Everything, there's a lot of fantasy in Marvel and shit.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, it was stupid as fuck to have. There were characters in there that were totally out of place, like dude's sister, that super scientist, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
that was dumb as fuck.
Isn't she like the only scientist in Wakanda or something? Like, at least it's kind of like you don't see a team of people even.
Well, she was supposed to be a priestess, really. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Marvel now will twist and turn whatever the fuck they want. They don't give a shit about continuity or anything. I mean, a lot of something that I missed out of the Black Panther movie was some of the spiritual fucking shit that they had in there. Like, remember when he married Aurora? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like that was like during their marriage and stuff. He had to present her to the spirit of like the Black Panther or whatnot, and
whatever. The god Bast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And fucking, I mean, but
see
and if he didn't like her, fucking, he would have fucking ripped her apart. I mean, you know what I'm saying? On like a total different plane. They could have went in a couple different directions with that movie rather than some of the little progressive bullshit that was sprinkled all around in it. But the movie as a whole didn't really fucking bother me as much as motherfuckers' reactions to it.
Well, see, what I was saying earlier about that is that the film seems logically inconsistent in the sense that it's a super advanced country where they have flying vehicles, you know, like it's shown. They have flying saucers. They can create a force field that basically disguises the actual Wakanda from the outside world and stuff. but they still have like almost squalor marketplaces, like a third world country in Cairo.
Oh yeah, but I mean, there was some shit in there also. Like they'd call some people like the colonizers or some shit.
Yeah,
That was
no,
like
that's
well
just
placed.
stupid. That's just stupid. I mean, that's the equivalency of like, I don't know, like a guy from America walking up to a black person saying, "Hello, slave descendant," or "Hello, slave," ex-slave.
Well, here's my thing. Yeah, there was a lot of illogical inconsistencies in there, especially if you're looking at advanced civilization. Why would they stop at just like 4 or 5 tribes? Why would they fucking like
they had like 10,000 years of advancement. It's like, what the fuck and stuff. It's like, again, it's like the Mongols through the use of horseback and arrows essentially conquered like the largest piece of land of all time and stuff. Like their empire was the biggest in terms of land.
Yeah, but throughout history, in the history of the world, no empire's just going like, you know what, fuck it, we'll just stop now. Except for maybe China, but
the problem is
talking about a huge fucking plot of land they already had, and they'd already seen everything else.
Yeah, see, what they should have done was they should have gone with what the Ultimate Avengers animated film did with the sequel when they introduced Black Panther, was that Wakanda in that animated movie was primitive and like old-fashioned traditionalist African. It's just that beneath the city, they mined the vibranium and made secret weapons and stuff in case they were attacked, But everything else was basically kind of old-fashioned style where they use spears because they're isolated.
Yeah, I actually like that movie, except for the fact that fucking Giant Man dies or some bullshit. Like, I was like, the fuck is this?
What?
But that came out of nowhere.
People die in those movies, unlike Marvel MCU, where everyone survives.
Oh yeah, well yeah, no, it's like the Ultimate Universe and whatever. But I was like, but even in the Ultimate Universe, that's not how he went out. Like, but no. So, but yeah, like I miss the alien technology type shit. You know what I'm saying? That was something that I was like, okay, so you're gonna say you're just got technologically advanced for no reason because of a metal mix? Zero fucking sense. You'd have to have the other part. You know what I'm saying? With like the alien technology,
how they learn math and everything, anyways. They just like stumbled upon calculus and physics.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess the metal or the metal away, man.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like they would have needed like Pythagoras or to know about Pythagoras.
Ricardo, what's wrong with your dog?
He's being his annoying self.
What does he want?
He wants attention. Oh fuck.
Okay, let's see him.
Sorry guys, I just bounced into the stream. I'm gonna make a cup of coffee real quick.
You and your coffee, man. You got calm it down.
Dude, like it's one of the only things I can treat myself to anymore. I
yeah.
So I picked up that Gotham Knight for $7 Canadian on eBay.
Wait, you bought it just now?
Just 2 seconds ago.
Jeez, man, you're quick.
Thought I had it.
Impulsive buyer, man.
I had no idea.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, I'll wait till Gwalt gets back to continue with that conversation. But yeah, that's just the interesting thing is that I don't know. I feel like the movie could have been better, and it definitely doesn't look as good as Blade. I think Blade looks like a much better film.
Yeah, I haven't really seen the Blade movies, but
I saw the first two, which apparently are the best.
Oh, the third one, Ryan Reynolds, bruh.
Some people say it's okay, other people say it's garbage.
Gotta take the DNC review. It's his favorite movie.
Well, I mean, I wanted to watch the third one just because Dracula's in it, because I like Dracula, so.
Triple H, the wrestler. It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. And then I heard people actually on Twitter saying that Blade is technically an anti-hero, but I keep thinking his mortal enemies, aren't they vampires? Like he's actually doing the world a favor, the humans a favor by getting rid of like vampires, isn't he?
Let's see. I'm gonna Google.
Yeah, I could go with that.
so you can't use an excuse because Deadpool's listed as a superhero movie, and he's definitely an anti-hero. So yeah, that doesn't count. Yeah.
As far as a movie, it's definitely a superhero movie.
Yeah. So Blade,
really don't.
Blade is still a superhero movie.
They really don't classify movies as anti-hero movies.
Yeah, it's like.
At least not that.
But I just think Blade is still like the first black superhero.
It has a
to get
better
a movie,
audience score last time I checked than Black Panther.
Yeah. Your dog's whining. What is that?
Just fucking toy.
Okay.
So needy.
Little dogs are very needy.
Oh yeah. I actually have a little dog who really likes to bully the really older one. The older one is 13, but the little one
So you're bi and you have a little dog. Talk about stereotypical.
Yeah.
That's a joke. Is like, yeah, it's like, isn't that the joke? A lot of like, yeah, non-straight people tend to have little dogs or something.
Yeah, but then again, like most feminists have like cats, so.
Well, but yeah, I think that's a joke. There's a lot of gays tend to have little dogs.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of wondering what exactly might end up happening for the Cyborg movie, since that's actually going to be like, because I don't know if it's going to have the same kind of hype like Black Panther, or if it's just going to die down a little bit. But
that's probably going to be a good thing if it doesn't have the hype and stuff. It means that they, it won't have the cringy, virtue signaling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really turned me off. Wanting to see the movie.
Yeah, I mean, not even Wonder Woman had that bad of virtue signaling, aside from that, like, that whole movie theater incident, with like the whole discrimination and stuff.
I think they did the same thing with Black Panther.
They talked about doing it, but again, me and other people threatened them, saying that if you do that, we're going to sue you and stuff. Like I'm going to call again. I think I actually commented on someone saying that, yeah, I'm going to call the freaking government or the freaking like Congress, saying that you guys are breaking civil rights and stuff, and have you guys sued.
You guys still talking about Black Panther?
Yeah, because there were some dumbass racist Black Lives Matter people who wanted to basically make it black only, or like no whites allowed screening at Black Panther. And I think I at one point like threatened them, saying that I'm going to sue you and call Congress and have you guys put in jail or something for being idiots.
Oh yeah,
wanting to do something like that. Yeah, it's like
Well, also you had
next time I see, I'm definitely
Tomatoes. Fucking say, look, you can't say anything negative or bad about blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, if you give Black Panther a bad review, you're racist, basically. I mean, that's what they openly said. Yeah.
Yep, and which is funny as fuck. That is the worst, craziest thing I've ever seen from a site that is supposedly supposed to be fucking unbiased or whatever, where people can just say what they think about a fucking
Rotten Tomatoes is basically Disney's right-hand man, basically. Like, they never give a bad review to Disney films.
Oh no, Sony's the same way. Sony's one of their fucking contributors also.
Yeah.
Or owns partial fucking pieces of them or whatever.
I mean, just look at the last.
How do the critic scores even work on there?
Well, Rotten Tomatoes basically gets a consensus. Apparently, they explain it's a consensus of the big critics where they get the score from. So, if the majority of big professional critics like it, then the score is going to look like that. So essentially, it's like a consensus, like a pool of people. Whereas then the audience scores is basically people who like rate the film, who saw it,
Yeah, that was cool.
Which is why The Last Jedi had like a big review, but like was despised by the audience. It's such a disparity. Like if you look at Justice League, let me look at it because let's see, because I think it shows. Let's see. So yeah, just. Oh, yeah, 1 second.
Yeah, honestly, I think one of the reasons this Black Panther thing on Rotten Tomatoes is so fucked up is in direct result from Star Wars
Okay,
Last
so
Jedi.
yeah, but look at it. So Justice League has a 40% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but the user audience score gave it a 76%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, most of the people who saw it liked it.
Look up Blade.
Blade. Okay.
I wonder if it's. It sounds like it's probably not ahead of it anymore.
Blade. Well, Blade got 54% on Rotten Tomatoes, so Rotten Tomatoes is full shit.
Yeah, most the audience score.
Let me see. Give me a second. The audience score is 78%. People like Blade.
Yeah.
Yep.
And probably be higher because people like that shit.
It's not like the greatest movie of all time. That's for fucking sure.
Well, it's still pretty good. I mean, it's not like
it's fucking Wesley Snipes.
Okay, so it's 78% people like Black Panther. So they're basically neck and neck, basically. They have the same amount percentage.
I can live with that.
You said 78 people like Black Panther?
78% of the audience like Black Panther. So Blade and Black Panther have the same percentage of like audience members who liked it.
Yep, pretty much any of the fucking Rotten Tomato scores you can just throw out.
But Blade has a
Critic fucking
54.
review.
But yes, Blade, which features a black hero, is like 54% or something, like, you know, on the critic score. Black Panther has a 97. So I wonder what happened came out in 1998. Like, what happened within like the 10 year span?
Progressivism, man.
Shit.
Nobody
Okay.
cared. Nobody cared when Blade came out.
Or maybe people just hate vampires that much.
Exactly.
But again, that was before Twilight. But that was before Twilight, so I don't think people had reasons to hate vampires that much.
That is true. That was around the same time as Interview with the Vampire, though. You know what I'm saying? That would have been like
people like that. But that was a good story still.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh, I'm not saying it wasn't. Interview with the Vampires are good, but what I'm saying is by the time Blade came out, Interview with the Vampire was a thing also, right? So that would have been their best comparison. And that movie is very artsy and not in a bad way. I mean, it's very well put together.
But going back to the subject of Black Panther and stuff that we were talking about, one of the things I also don't like about what I've seen of the film is that essentially if you take away that fruit that turns him into a super soldier and the suit, T'Challa is basically very vulnerable. Like, you know, like in the Ultimate Avengers sequel film, the animated movie, he didn't have any special powers. He literally just trained super hard to be the Black Panther.
Exactly.
And his suit was very rudimentary. Like he could be stabbed and shot and stuff in that suit.
Oh yeah, like the Black Panther is supposed. I mean, he's extremely
but this suit is like
fucking hand to hand.
Yeah, but this suit is essentially like, oh, I can deflect bullets. He's literally almost invincible in that suit.
I always thought he was just like fucking Batman.
Yeah, but the thing is, he was Africa's Batman. True.
But in this movie, if you take away that stuff, he's not Batman. Like he'll literally get killed and stuff. Like he can't fight like Batman. Like Batman has his gadgets.
Yeah, didn't that Killmonger guy like hand it to him in hand-to-hand combat? Just like
he handed it to him. Yeah. And yes, apparently a civilization that is more advanced than the rest of the world apparently still uses blood sports. Trial by combat and the strongest to rule the country.
Fuck yeah, they would, because it's the smartest way to have it.
Yeah, that's really primitive. That's what it is.
No, I'm telling you.
And then what's with all the spears? It's like there's spears everywhere. It's like, really? It's like you can't develop guns. You're going to develop spears.
No, I agree. That was a criticism of mine too. I was like,
yeah, you guys. Are they like somehow I feel like fucking spears or some shit at least?
Yeah, see, somehow I feel like the director of this film was thinking of Star Wars and Thor when he was making his film. But here's the thing: is Star Wars is set in another galaxy, a completely different culture, not on Earth with regular humans. And Thor, they're like in a completely another dimension. You know, they're literally gods in space. So that makes sense. But in this, you're talking about human beings.
It's like African Asgard.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. It's like, but the thing is that you don't have the excuse of an alien culture, because alien culture, you can do that, sure. But this is a human culture and stuff. And human beings are shown that when they have access to this type of technology, they're going to expand, they're going to conquer, and they're going to basically eventually modernize and adopt a more democratic or, you know, non-absolute monarchy tradition.
What I liked was they were like, oh yeah, his sister is like the smartest. She's smarter than Tony Stark. I'm like, no bullshit, because the suit doesn't fucking fly.
Look at that woman. Look at that powerful, smart woman make all those freaking, you know, Black Panther suits. Oh yeah, it is I, your ex-president Barack Obama, and I'm gonna say I love Black Panther, the powerful woman who makes all the technology. It should rule the country and stuff. She reminds me a lot about Michelle. Michelle, my wife.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was ridiculous. I was like, come on. I was like, I didn't know fucking Moon Girl had a goddamn guest spot in this fucking movie.
Yeah, you can tell an Obama voter made this film.
Well, they had fucking they brought in Ta-Nehisi motherfucking Coates.
Okay, this is
a goddamn asshole in this movie. Or to be
oh yeah, you mean the asshole wrote? Did he do Black Panther in the Crew? Like what Black Panther comic do?
He did that also.
Yeah, because he's that racist guy. Like he turned Black Panther into a raging racist.
Yeah, correct, exactly.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't do that in this film and stuff. But oh well.
He was.
Well, I mean, they call him a colonizer, so I guess he is a racist.
What do they fucking call him? He didn't direct or anything like that, but he was.
But he wrote. He was a writer, right? He was either a consultant or writer.
Yeah, I think he was a consultant. There you go.
It's like if you do a military movie, you generally have somebody that was in the military as a consultant.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The thing is just that it's like with this film, it's kind of like this film is essentially like you know, Black Lives Matter masturbation, basically, where it's like it's literally people are stroking their egos on this is what like a black society would look like if there wasn't for white people.
Yeah, but how racist was that shit when that white dude was trying to talk and the black people started fucking making monkey noises? I thought that was extremely racist to black people. I thought that was. I
know, because yeah, and it's funny seeing people like writing articles like about how the alt-right liking Black Panther is a horrible thing, because like, you know, there are a lot of alt-right members who like the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard Spencer loves the film. He had a great time.
Richard Spencer should have did a review. That would have been fucking awesome.
He's done a review. No, he has a review. You can look it up. He has a review.
Oh yeah, I seen this Star Wars one. It was fucking so hilarious.
Yeah, the funny thing about Richard Spencer is that. Funny. Well, the funny thing about Richard Spencer is that unlike the anti-SJW crowd, he actually isn't really as like fervent in attacking SJWs. Like he's pretty intellectual in the sense of how he discusses his ideas and stuff. So it's really hard to, you know, get him with like the whole, oh, you're being like angry and extreme and stuff. He's kind of very like, that's probably why he triggers so many people, is because he's really good at staying calm under duress and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the reasons why he's popular, he's kind of charismatic, but he does say some dumb shit sometimes.
Well, I'm not saying. I mean, I'm not saying he does. I'm not saying he does.
It's pretty fucking dumb, if you ask me.
Well, I mean, I feel like people discussing with them is interesting because they do talk about some interesting things. It's just but I can see why people scream. But I do feel like when people say that the alt-right and SJWs are the exact same thing, I feel like there is still a slight difference, because at least with the alt-right, you can just like debate and discuss with their leaders, whereas SJWs, their leaders will just kind of double down and lock you out and stuff. Like you can't debate that like college professor that advocates for like white genocide and stuff. They'll just, you know, make up some excuse and flee.
Yeah.
But with the alt-right, at least you can debate them and talk with them.
Well, the thing about it is the whole thing with Spencer is he's kind of the exact same thing as Black Lives Matter. He's like, okay, so you want a white ethnostate. So how do you plan on doing this?
Well, he doesn't riot. Well, here's him in Black Lives Matter. So he doesn't go on riots and stuff.
No, I agree. No, 100%. Not as violent. Just the opposite. He's the one who got punched in the face. But but I mean, his end results, like his end ideas, are fucking like fantasy world.
Well,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
but
saying? So you want.
here's the interesting thing is that the thing is that Richard Spencer was essentially, and he was basically the media's token white nationalist and stuff. You know, that's what the media wanted. The media wanted to use him to basically go after Trump and stuff. But the thing is, it failed. Like he literally played them almost perfectly, and it failed utterly. So now these idiots in the media basically gave him a really big platform now and stuff because they were too stupid to realize that their attempts to go after Trump with him was going to epically fail. So now he's like more popular than ever and stuff.
Oh yeah,
because that's what it was. See, they tried to make him their token white nationalist to take down Trump, and it failed utterly. And he made them look stupid.
I think one of the reasons he's so popular right now is because he was on that Worski live stream. And
he's also on the New York Times did stuff about it. Like a lot of popular media have done stuff about him. Like they have really elevated his position and stuff.
Yeah, but that was the number one trending thing on fucking Twitter. That was the number one trending stream in the world that night. That him, Sargon, JF. It was like.
You mean that the one where they got into argue where Sargon kind of screwed up?
Well, it's like not necessarily that Sargon screwed it up. Like Sargon was fucking attacking.
Sargon did not really debate very well. Like,
all Sargon's point was what's white? Qualify whiteness.
Yeah, but it's like again, he wasn't really taking it. He was kind of being obnoxious there. Like it wasn't really a debate. It was more of him kind of being obnoxious and kind of trolling almost.
Well, yeah. Well, honestly, when the debate first started,
shuffle these.
Spencer was doing nothing but interrupting the entire fucking time he was trying to talk. So he was rounding Sargon up. But Sargon took the bait because he didn't take him fucking seriously. And honestly, why would you take Richard Spencer seriously?
Well, I mean, again, I feel like you have
agree.
you kind of have to take them seriously at times just because, otherwise you won't be able to have a conversation and try and get their ideas, get their ideas on the table to examine them.
Well, yeah, but Sargon has a point in what is white because you have a whole bunch of different DNA chains. You have like the Norse DNA chain, which is
white is simply like.
Well,
I guess my definition of white is simply if you have DNA that originates from the Caucasus, basically the Iranian region, you're basically Caucasian.
Oh yeah, but like you have Cossacks, you have like all sorts of different
they might be mixed
genetic structures. Of course, it's all mixed. I mean, really and truly, if you want to look at it, there's like no such thing as a pure strand anymore.
Well, for me, it's like if you're pale and straight hair and stuff, you don't have the slanted eyes like Asians, I would consider you white.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. You are still considered white, but the problem is that within the ethnostate or whatever that Spencer's trying to do, even then that's a very broad term, and then you start saying, well, who's white and who's not? Like, as far as like how pure does your DNA have to be to be?
I think with the alt-right, their idea of what would be white mainly includes like Germans, Celts, like Germanics and Celts, and I think
Western
some
Europeans
as well. Yeah, Western Europeans. I think that's what they think. Anglo-Saxons. The Celts, the Brits, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, well then that's
basically the people who you want to watch in porn all the time. The women you want to watch in porn all the time.
I don't know, dude. Like fucking, I'm really into some Asian porn. I'm really into some of that fucking Russian shit.
I don't know what it is about Asian women. It's just like I don't know. I just can't. I don't know. I just can't do it. I just don't really do Asians really. But like white women, it's like I don't know. I guess I have an obsession and stuff.
I wouldn't call it an obsession so much.
I'm pretty racist. I guess I am racist with my preferences.
Not me, dude. I fucked like a girl of every damn race so far.
That's because that's because you're a goddamn degenerate. That's what you are.
Oh yeah. Well, I want to try them all. You know what I'm saying? It's like Pokemon.
Degenerate.
Maybe, yeah, for sure.
Speaking of degenerate, you guys see any of that drama going on this week?
What drama? What drama?
On Twitter with that weird fucking trans prostitute talking about fucking DNC being killed in an IED. You guys fault? No.
Yeah. Also,
no.
that one guy fucking.
What happened?
The one dude with like.
What the fuck happened? Wait, explain this to me.
Go on there, Walt.
Oh no, you can go for it, man. You can tell him.
So I guess they work at Dark Horse. Anyways, they just tweeted some shit out where like Richard C. Meyer hates trans people, blah blah blah. I wish he would have died in
these are
IED
creators?
in Afghanistan.
These are creators. Wait, these are creators.
And then who's the guy there that you're just talking about, Walt? The fucking subtweeted them.
Yeah, so this one dude who, so this is what happened. They were saying that he hoped that they brung in his military service into question. They said that he is what was that? Not undercover racist or some shit. But because he was former military, he must be like some kind of racist.
These are people who work. These are people who work for Dark Horse, like they're creators.
It might be Dark Horse, it might be Image. I forget which one. But here's the funny part. The funny part is,
Image,
remember that? You remember that left wing? You remember that one dude that was like a politician for the left that got caught with tentacle porn on his browser? 4chan caught that shit.
4chan called it.
Caught it, screenshotted it. That what it was on his fucking browser when he was like doing a fucking interview. There was like a picture. I mean, he was doing a video or some shit like that, but his browser's in the background, and you could obviously see tentacle porn as one of the goddamn categories of the shit in the windows. You know what I'm saying? If you're using Google, you have your bar up top, and like if you don't have so many bars open, it'll tell you what's up there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he had tentacle porn up there, and he got called out for it, and he made some stupid ass excuse. I was trying to prove that it was real or some shit like that to my wife. So blah blah blah. Yeah, you got me. I'm a dumbass, is what he said. Dude, we don't kink shame over here. Fucking, you want tentacle porn? You can do some tentacle porn. We ain't fucking with you on that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even mad at the guy at that. I kind of like him because of it, to be completely honest. But Applebin did like this huge fucking video on it. It was great. But anyway, look that up. But no, but he came to the defense of DNC, and he's a fucking left-wing politician. He was like, holy shit. He was like, this is deplorable, talking about what the Image person did. He was like, I've been in comic books in a long time. Is this what it's turned into? So I've been linking him fucking DNC videos of DNC getting plotted to be assaulted.
So this politician basically saw the threat that was made against DNC.
Yes, exactly. So he saw. So this left-wing dude is going against these crazy progressives. Then he started getting berated by progressives saying, nah, he's a Nazi and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, so time out. Or they compared him to Hitler, and then one of his other replies was, so time out. So you're comparing a war veteran to literal Hitler right now. He's like, that. Can you see how stupid that is? It's fucking hilarious that, I don't know, this politician dude, I don't even know, Eric something. What was his fucking name? I could bring that shit up.
Okay, so basically the drama is that people from Image were threatening DNC.
It's not threatening per se.
But they said they wanted him to die, though.
They said they wish he would have died in Afghanistan. You gotta qualify it with wish, so it's not a threat.
Yeah, okay. They wish that he got blown up by an IED in Afghanistan.
Well, they're still scumbags because you're talking about a veteran.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that was going on all week.
So you know their names? You know their names because I live in Seattle, so Portland's like almost 3 hour drive away.
I'm looking it up right now. See if I can find that.
Michelle Perez, Rubble Woman, which is I checked out her feed. She had all this weird fucking tranny porn on there. I don't suggest looking at it.
Yeah, she's a real degenerate.
So then,
a former sex worker.
So what's
this
person's name? What's this person's name?
Michelle Perez, ELE, Michelle Perez. So then yesterday I'm on fucking what's his name? Donnie Coates, Tostanos, and some fucking comic skater. It's fucking like harassing him, like to denounce this fucking Michelle Perez. And he's like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. This guy was like berating him with like 30 fucking tweets. And I told this guy, like, yo, buddy, chill the fuck out. And
okay, I'm blocked by this person.
Of course you are.
I'm not, but I don't follow it.
Oh, well, that's because that's your new account.
Yeah, that's right. That's my undercover account.
Go to incognito.
His name is Kurt Inchwald. Was the politician guy. Eichenwald. There you go. I can't fucking pronounce names. I'm sorry.
Wait, so what's the name of the video that Appleban did?
I'll bring that one up too. Now check out the quartering. He did diversity in comic skits. Kurt Eichenwald woke #comicscape.
Yeah, he did. Quartering does good videos.
Hell yeah, especially if you like magic and stuff like that. He got fucked though by that goddamn bullshit. He fucked them up though. Holy shit, did he fuck them up? He brought in all their dirty laundry, all their pedo bullshit. Like he got them.
Got him.
Okay, and now I'm gonna look up that Applebin video for you, Florence.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know. Hey, I didn't know you could. I know you could view profiles in incognito. That's cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think it's somewhat limited to the functionality, but really, I don't think there's too many limitations. I think like.
Oh yeah. By the way, fuck. What was the Reddit? It started to bring in some stupid shit. Some real like 1984 shit as far as people who started to screenshot other people's fucking post or whatever. They're coming up with a software that lets them know who is screenshotting their posts, so you can't just fucking
what
troll. Yeah, this dumb shit.
You can't do that.
It's gonna be that'll probably be the fall of their platform.
Whoa. Screenshot. Like on my computer, I hit fucking print screen.
Correct.
And you're telling me the browser is aware of this and it's gonna fucking somehow send some information? No, that's fucking. No, that's impossible.
No, dude. I mean, I'm trying to tell you that's a video I saw recently that was explaining. I mean, it's not been put into effect yet, but if you screenshot somebody else's page or whatever that you're gonna then post, look at this dumbass, you know what I'm saying, or whatever.
Yeah, that's just using fucking Google reverse image search.
Correct.
All you gotta do is scramble it a bit. Put some fucking static in the image. Fucking, I don't know, add a fucking couple of hearts here and there, then it won't recognize it, more than likely.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, it's always gonna be the sword and the shield. There's gonna be software to come up to combat it, I'm sure. But that's what I heard. That's what's going on. Also, the Umbrella guy from Comicscape got some shout outs on the quarterings video.
I've seen that. That's good for him. I wonder if he got any followers out of it.
I hope so, dude. I like his content.
Yeah, so, but yeah, it's just, yeah, I guess I don't. Yeah, so this person's in Portland, this transgender person.
Yep.
And it probably come down to Seattle a couple times. I looked them up. I'm trying to think if they look familiar. Because there was some transgender person at my local comic book store last week. So
they're a streetwalker.
Well, I'm saying, fuck, she might be in, I was wondering if she was at the comic book store actually last week. So I've been fucking crazy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think. I kind of wanted to go to Comic-Con this year just to like make a post saying, "Oh yeah, Comicscape is gonna be represented at New York at Emerald City Comic-Con on Twitter." I'm just gonna post on Twitter and see if like there's some reaction, if people are gonna be looking out for someone at the con.
Fucking do it anyways.
But it's expensive, so again,
just do the fucking post, man. It doesn't mean you have to fucking go.
Okay, fine.
It's not like anybody knows who the fuck you are, anyways.
I know, it's just still.
They're not going to be able to disprove the fact.
I know, I know that. It's just been fun to go there and to see if, like, actually there would be people like, responding to it to see if there's like, you know, people walking around with like protest signs, something like that.
That's a little far-fetched, but you never know.
It's like, it'd be like, fuck King Billy or something like that. Yeah, Super Dark War said he was going to be back, but he hasn't come back yet.
Is he working again?
I don't know. Anyway, he lied, so.
I've been working my ass off.
Some bad mic issues earlier.
What?
I don't know what's up with his phone.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys need to stop working. Dedicate all your time to the internet like England team.
No, I prefer the money.
I think he's still unemployed.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, I'm looking for that video right now that had to do
What
with that
video?
politician from
Which one are you
Appleton.
looking for? The Appabend one?
Yeah, the one where he was explaining what happened to that politician. It was like fucking maybe a year ago. No, I don't know if it was that long ago. but-
Okay, well, you find
Appabend, fucking.
You just post it in the group when you
porn.
find it on Twitter.
What up? Yeah, if I do
Oh.
find it, I'll post it in
No.
the group.
Hey, so Ricardo, you said you wanted to talk about what, Marvel Fresh or something?
Yeah, fresh start.
Is that what it's called? Fresh Start?
I don't know.
Sounds
if that's the official
stupid.
title.
That sounds stupid, though.
Yeah, I think that's what they are calling it though right now.
So, what do you guys
Yeah,
think?
it's got some motherfucking insiders triggered.
Yeah.
Insiders.
Yeah, like all the fucking comics mafia or whatever the fuck DNC calls them.
What, they're mad?
Yeah, because they're losing all their fucking LGBT representation and all their fucking Mary Sues and
Yeah, but aren't the
they're
same
bringing
writers
back
still
all
writing?
the
But there's yeah, but they're
bringing
still
back all
writing
the
the
white male characters.
yeah, but aren't they still writing the same? Aren't the same people still writing these books? Because I mean, it's irrelevant if the characters come back; they could still be written
well,
into like a fucking train wreck.
Yeah,
Well,
but CB's running the show, and he could fucking just fire people if they don't follow his. beliefs.
Yeah, but they fire people. Are gonna have to find someone to replace them, and if that person's still a moron, then it's like that's wasted money. It's like a football team that constantly cuts people because they suck. It hurts your
It's not
team.
like these people are making fucking good bank anyways.
Well, I mean, again, it's still
You could
it
probably
slows down
afford
your
to
time.
cut
It
them.
slows down your production stuff. You know, it makes things
Yeah.
late.
Okay,
well,
I found it.
oh, okay. But going back to Ta-Nehisi Coates, Ta-Nehisi, I think that's his name.
Ta-Nehisi,
Who's that?
I believe.
The-
Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's getting Captain America apparently, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
sad.
thought that was canned. I thought that was an idea canned years ago, like a year ago.
He was on Conan O'Brien or some shit.
Yeah,
So he's getting a
Looks
Captain
like-
America comic.
Yeah.
yeah. I think he's going to be writing the
Okay.
Captain America.
Well, okay, we're gonna have a racist Captain America comic. Okay,
Yeah, well, we already do, sort of.
yeah, but this is gonna be like
Shit.
extra racist.
Yeah,
he's
this is
probably
going to
gonna
be fucking
he's probably
super
gonna be he's probably gonna be going around firebombing like white Harlem houses, telling them to get out and stuff.
It's going to be white guilt Captain America is what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of sad that people want to talk about racism, you know, with comic books. You know, they should like do something about South Africa, what's going on down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up and stuff. Cause like Lawrence Sumner's been doing videos down there and stuff. It's pretty screwed up. And unfortunately, there's nothing really Donald Trump can do about it, because if he tries doing something about it, they're just going to call him a white supremacist and stuff. And they're going to jump on him.
There's fucking all kinds of shit going on. I'm sure those people in Venezuela aren't doing the greatest right now.
Well, that too. But this is kind of like their government won't help them due to racism, you know, because they're white. Because like the black
actually,
stuff-
the thing that really pisses me off about that is like Europe's not letting them just migrate back with them.
Yeah, because this is because Europe is under a political correct rule right now, so they're not going to allow that. Again, it's like Like it's like literally the South Africa is basically run by extremely racist government stuff. It's just like apartheid, but in reverse and stuff. And the rest of the world is ignoring it because, you know, it's not part of the narrative. Like if it keeps up, then literally it's like the only thing that they'll have left is either let themselves get killed, or they're going to basically form a terrorist cell and start, you know, committing acts of terrorism in the country and stuff. Either way, the country's probably going to fall to pieces eventually. Same thing happened with Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe decided they're going to be a bunch of racists and get rid of the whites, and now the country has basically become collapsed and stuff.
Well, then they had to beg to get white farmers back, and they were like, "Yeah, no,
I don't mean to
you."
sound like I don't mean to be like a cold-hearted asshole or something like that, but if they get rid of the whites in South Africa because of racism, it's like I will not shed any tears or feel guilty if you guys starve to death and your country basically collapses and millions of people die. You deserve it. So yeah, that may seem heartless, but yeah, I say do not give them a single bit of wealth or anything like that. But the problem is, due to our politics, we're going to give them wealth because if Donald Trump says no, they're just going to accuse them of white supremacy.
They're going to have fucking foreign aid. Plus, it's going to all migrate to Europe anyways. And it all depends on if the nationalist revolution takes hold in Europe, because it looks like it's going to. Because have you seen those crazy protests in Germany? It's like thousands of people are protesting in Germany right now. Crazy. I think they're a little late for that, though.
I don't think it's too late. I mean, again, French Revolution was never too late. They just, you know, cut off people's heads, put them on pikes. Again, when people are pissed enough, it's never too late. When people are pissed enough, they'll go out and
they can't even have a fucking civil war. They're all disarmed. They're fucked.
Oh yeah. Also,
what are they gonna do? March in the streets?
Also, fuck. I don't know. Get torches and pitchforks. But hey, but also like fuck UK and stuff. Because did you guys see that video I posted about Roosh V? He apparently got banned from the UK.
Wait, who?
Roosh V. He's one of the founders of that website Return of Kings, which is like that pickup artist forum. He's really hardcore and like kind of like really anti-feminist and stuff, where, you know, he's like that guy that every feminist is gonna call like a horrible mistake because he's like he can be really extreme with his pickup artistry. But apparently, yeah, he got banned from the UK by Trump. It's like
broke up really bad.
For real, but like Roosh.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Easy. Quit harassing me.
But you know, isn't that? But I mean, that's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I didn't hear the question. I'm trying to get into our fucking Twitter group. Jesus, like my.
Okay. Well, what I was saying was that Roosh V was banned from the UK for basically being an extreme pickup artist who basically, you know, is essentially kind of like turd flinging monkey and stuff, where he like kind of debunks all the feminist myths. So he was banned. He's basically banned for like 3 to 5 years from entering the UK.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the UK will allow returning terrorists to come back for rehabilitation. Insane enough, you know?
Hell yeah.
So apparently, according to UK, he's basically more dangerous than terrorists, apparently.
Huh.
Yeah, apparently they'll send you a letter.
Apparently
they'll send you a letter if you basically, you know, you'll get sent a letter if you get banned from the UK.
They'll send you a letter. Please don't come back. But
yeah, but that's just insane. It's like ridiculous. Because same thing in Sweden. Like apparently in Sweden, you literally what is it? Oh, what was it? No. So they have basically started. They have actually taken funding from rape survivors to help refugees, basically. I mean, that's how bad it's gone in Sweden.
Oh yeah, no,
So,
I believe it.
yeah, the feminist country essentially is now taking funding away from like rape crisis centers now.
Damn.
Yeah, they've gone beyond full retard.
Oh yeah. Well, they went full retard.
Yeah, did you hear about that, Ricardo?
Yeah, sorry, I just got back.
Did you hear about that, Ricardo?
I missed everything. I was making a coffee.
So apparently Sweden now has taken money away from rape crisis centers to help refugees.
And probably their senior citizens.
Yeah, I understand your system, but this is so yes, apparently this is what Sweden is doing now, despite being a feminist nation.
Well, yeah, they're going the way of Rome.
I think the difference between them and Rome is Rome at least
They're gonna fall.
mustered their armies to fight the barbarians and stuff. And, you know, the barbarians were not treated very well by the Romans anyway, when they kind of let them enter the civilization and stuff. So there's a difference between the Romans and in Sweden.
There?
Yeah. At least in Rome, you know, they still had pimp hands. The pimp hands were still strong.
I don't know, man.
Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that Thinkery clip where it shows like Sargon watches that clip from Russian Orthodox?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that clip is gonna be taken so much out of context. You know, you're gonna think Sargon supports people getting beaten.
No, we kept saying in the video, I don't support this at all.
I know, but you know what they're gonna do. You know what they're gonna do. You know people are gonna lie.
What the fuck was the name of the book the woman wrote? So
it's like
sometimes my husband hits me or something. Or...
No, it's called why it's good that my husband beats me or something like that, or why husbands should beat their wives. I know it's like that feminist from the BBC is like so shocked and stuff.
It was fucking
it's
so gold.
I know, but it's like so woke right there because that guy literally says, "Oh, you're corrupted" and stuff. It's like he just tells it straight and stuff. It's like he literally just tells it straight. It's like he just doesn't give a fuck and stuff. He's just telling it straight why they don't support feminists and stuff. I know, it's just so funny. So I posted on the Discord saying, you know, the pimp hand is strong with the Russian Orthodox Christians.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was just that clip was just way too funny and stuff. So
that was a great video though. That shit was funny as fuck.
Okay, but you guys know that they're gonna take it out of context. I mean, they're going to literally just, you know, take the clip and try to accuse them of supporting that to try and lie and stuff. Yeah.
I support it just to see that look on that bitch's face when like she was like, "You should read my book. You should read my book." And I wrote a book on it. And the feminist looks at her like, "Are you fucking with me? No, bitch, we are not fucking with you." Like,
I know. No, she's like so offended. It's like it's literally she is just shocked and so it's like that was so
it's
funny.
Like what? You don't like their culture or something?
I love it. I love it how that. I love how that guy's wife is just smiling at her like with that like shit-eating grin and stuff. It's so funny. It's like that was probably like the most disturbing thing that probably frightened that feminist probably got traumatized by just the fact that she smiled there while talking about that stuff.
I fucking hope so. Also, it was funny as shit when the dude was like, "Yeah, feminism is just for like ugly bitches," and she was like, "Well, I'm a feminist," and I just want to be like, "Yeah, dumb ugly bitches," is what my response would have been.
Like, I think his response was that you're corrupted. Like he said, yeah, the beautiful one's like you're corrupted or something. It's really funny. Yeah, it's basically like like imagine feminism was the One Ring from Lord of the Rings and just says, "Oh yeah, you've been corrupted." Someone needs to create like the anti-SJW version of Lord of the Rings where it's like, oh yeah, you know, the black writers, they were once like skeptics, and then the feminist powers took them and they all fell into darkness. They are the nine. They are neither male nor female.
Damn.
That would make a great film, wouldn't it? You know, or that'd make a great book. Question is, who would you cast as Sauron? Like, you know, the Dark Lord in like
What's
the
in there?
SJW version.
Or some shit.
Would that count? I don't know. Is she that good? I mean, I feel like is she that? I don't know. Do you think she's that?
Who's that
has
other
that
one there that's running for fucking government now?
Oh, Brianna Wu. Well, if the black writers are described as basically being neither male nor female and stuff, then I guess maybe Brianna, just someone who can be the Dark Lord.
Damn.
And then the orcs are basically college students, like they're indoctrinated college students, which makes sense because like, oh yeah, the orcs are basically they were once elves within the dark powers took them and tortured them. It's like they were once innocent children, and then like progressive school teaching, took them and corrupted them.
Guys, did you get the videos I linked real quick?
What on our group?
I am on my cell phone and I'm gaming, so I don't want to open up another session on my computer.
No,
when you live in Canada, Ricardo, you have no choice but the game to keep you happy.
Oh yeah.
I actually played
damn.
Mania.
So Gual, I mentioned this in the beginning of the stream, but you weren't here. So I split up Age of Shitlords and Extreme Stream. So like Extreme Stream, I want to try and be like more of like a news and like comic book discussion channel. And like Age of Shitlords, I wanted to turn into like a shit posting and internet blood sports stream.
That's fine. That's fantastic.
So because I'm not sure if you're familiar with internet blood sports.
Oh, very. I've been watching the Warski stuff.
Yeah, did you watch like the Roosh V versus Lord Southern video?
I saw highlights of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
But it was like you saw it was a shit show, right? But you saw it was a shit show, right?
It looked ridiculous to me. I thought somebody highlighted some good shit. I think it was Kronos's fucking channel.
Kronos, yeah. Basically, essentially, like Roosh was being a troll. Basically, I mean, he had some points, but he was being a total troll. Like, it's like the funny thing is like that Annika woman. She's like that scientist or robotics engineer and stuff. So people are making jokes saying that if you look at her face or something like that, she basically deep down wanted to basically fuck Bruce Lee and was wanting to ask her husband if he could cuck for her and stuff. Because that's the joke she was saying is her husband must be a total cuck or something like that. So
damn,
she would like totally have sex with Bruce Lee in a heartbeat, even though she makes it seem like she's all like indignant about his antics.
I need to go back and watch it because I haven't seen the whole thing.
Just watch
the highlight.
Yeah, just watch the Kronos video. I think the Kronos video just has it all summed up there. But like I said, basically, that video is a perfect example of internet blood sports where it's like a shit show, kind of like Jerry Springer, but on streaming.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's why I kind of tended to have Age of Shitlords be where I kind of like joking around and flinging insults and stuff, at different things.
Hey, I'm down for that anytime. That's funny to me. Damn, but as far as but no, like that whole situation was fucking hilarious. Like he said what is this the same stream I'm thinking about? Dude comes on, he's like, "Look, I don't even like trying to have an intellectual debate."
That was the same. Yeah, that was the same stream. Yep.
Okay, that was funny as fuck. That is the greatest opener I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I was like, that is fantastic.
Well, yeah, because I think the funny thing is just a lot of people. The thing about Roosh V is that a lot of people don't expect him to say those things, but he does because he just doesn't care and stuff.
Oh, dude, that's the best time. I like somebody who's got no filter. That's good shit to me.
Well, the funny thing is that he did bring up a really interesting point where that because of how retarded the progressive left is, they basically called him right wing. Even though he's never really described himself as either political, side of the spectrum, but because he basically empowers men, as he says it, they call him right wing now. So he's basically been forced into the group.
Absolutely.
Which, yeah,
so
again,
wait a minute. This one was a robotics major.
Yeah, I think her name's Annika or whatever.
What kind of robotics is she into to explain that?
I can't remember. You have to watch the video. I can't remember what it was. But all I know is the main crutch of the debate was basically him calling out Lauren Southern because he thinks that her viewership is basically made up of a bunch of like thirsty beta males who want to have sex with her.
That's funny.
Most of it is.
Well, if you look at the comments in her comment section, there are a lot of nights in there.
Just don't go on her Twitter, bro.
It's like,
That's
notice
all
me.
pissed.
I'm a chick.
I'm not sure if you heard the
I
trad
fucking
thought
even
thing.
went on one of her tweets. I'm like,
Yeah.
the thirst is real. I got like fucking 40 likes on it or something stupid.
Did you like? What did you? I mean, are you guys familiar with the whole trad thought insult? Because that's become a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Trad thought is basically an insult for like like how you have those pretty girls that claim to be conservative or support Trump and stuff, and they get all those followers. And they tend to be kind of sexy. Yeah. So people call them trad thoughts because they say it's like they're because it's become, I don't know, a lot of attention is given to these subjects. They want to come in and basically, get the attention. So people have accused Lawrence of being an attention whore.
Well, that's basically what happens with a lot of girls who become like poster childs for any type of thing.
I mean, look at comic books. Like, comic book very male dominated. Then when it became mainstream, the girls started coming in. I mean, even Comicsgate, it seemed like when Comicsgate started out, we had very few female members. And then when it became big, then more women started coming.
Well, yeah. Also, fucking some of the girls in the quote unquote Comicsgate thing are fucking retarded. But
let's not name names, but I mean, I can understand because some people, I mean, not just the girls, some of the guys are also kind of stupid as well.
Oh God, yes.
Oh yeah.
Some
for
people
sure.
There's people everywhere.
I know. It's just some people just get so easily offended, or just
Fuck.
get worried. Oh yeah, did you? Yeah, Ricardo. Ricardo mentioned it, but did you see like that my tweet that got found by Mags?
No.
So basically, it was like a month ago. It was a response to DNC. I did not put in the hashtag Comicsgate. So basically, it meant that either Mags was creeping my Twitter account or creeping DNC's Twitter account.
No doubt.
Yeah, she was creeping DNC's and found my reply to her, which was what was it? He screenshot her tweet about Martin Luther King, where she's talking about civil rights and stuff. And I responded to DNC's tweet saying that if Martin Luther King was alive, he would have had her committed for being a tranny.
Oh yeah.
He basically took that and like retweeted and says, "This is Comicsgate" or something like that.
Oh yeah. No, that's a troll. That's funny shit, and it's also kind of true.
But I mean, well, technically, again, Martin Luther King. I think they looked into it. And it's like he didn't view homosexuality as being a normal thing, like a natural, normal thing. So if you have a problem with homosexuality, I'm pretty sure transgenderism is not going to be seen in a better light.
Oh, yeah. You could say that about anybody. I mean, yeah, he was a fucking preacher. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's nothing against him. It's just like Mags using Martin Luther King was laughable.
Oh yeah,
it's like you might as well. It's like if I'm a Christian, I'm going to basically talk about like whatever Islamic extremists and say, "Hey, this guy has a good point." And stuff. Yeah, he would probably have you killed for being an infidel.
Yeah,
it's stupid as shit. But yeah, so basically, Mags essentially creeped on DNC's server, and I was thinking that she looked up Comicsgate and saw it somewhere, but no, I just remembered I didn't put Comicsgate in there, so yeah, she was creeping.
Oh yeah, dude. Max is a fucking retard. He is the dumbest grifter fuckhead. Just trying to stir up something.
Yeah, and he's probably like he probably has he has me blocked. He has me blocked. I'm pretty sure he has diversity in comics blocked and stuff, and yet he's still creeping on our servers. That's just fucking retarded.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm saying that's the reason why is probably because we've got them all fucking shook. Okay, so this new Fresh Start Marvel shit, I'm super skeptical of. I don't think that the writing's going to change if you just look at all new teams.
Yeah, if they're giving this racist like Captain America, then it's not going to change. Like I already keep telling people, bringing back the original characters won't matter if the books are still shit and they're still being cringy as fucking stuff. Like it doesn't matter if it's Captain America saying, "Oh, look how oppressed black people are and stuff, and how horrible the police and white people are for existing." It doesn't matter if it's Captain America or Falcon; it's still going to be a shitty comic.
Oh yeah, dude. And also, what are they doing with the numbering? Are they going to start back with all new number ones?
It's going to be all new number ones. I hear
they're supposed to be putting both sets of numbering in simultaneously.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's kind of typical Marvel, the not resetting the number gimmick.
Yeah.
Well, they
I
just
agree.
switched. Like Venom.
Yeah, because
fucking.
didn't we have like because didn't we have like we had like Marvel Now issue number 1. Then we had all different Marvel number 1. Then we had Marvel Legacy number 1. It's like it was pretty insane what they were doing. It's like this is like
Venom just
what
Venom just switched to number 1 with the lenticulars. What the fuck was that event called, or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, you're talking about when Eddie Brock got his costume back, right? Right.
No,
at the
like
beginning
right
of
around
the,
Christmas, they switched
whatever
Venom
the fuck
to
Legacy or whatever the hell they're
No,
calling
sorry,
it.
they switched Venom to 150 from whatever numbering it was at.
Oh, so you mean they went back to before like the whole reboots?
Yeah, they went to the original numbering, and now they're going to number 1.
Are they aware that by switching to original numbering, they're ripping off DC did? Because DC did that with Action Comics and Detective Comics.
Dude, they've been ripping off DC in all the wrong aspects for a while.
Well, it sounds like the Marvel Fresh is basically them trying to rip off Rebirth, but it's probably going to blow up in their face because unlike DC, like DC has had 2 reboots since like 2000, like since the New 52. Like you had the New 52 reboot, and then you had Rebirth, which was kind of like not really even a reboot. It was literally just kind of what was it like? Remembering what previous continuity existed.
Yeah.
Whereas, because with this, it's like, I mean, this isn't really even a reboot. It seems like it's just renumbering and bringing back the original heroes.
Yeah. Also,
because what DC did was like a hard fucking reboot. I don't think Marvel's doing that in any way.
Well, Rebirth wasn't a hard reboot. Rebirth was kind of just like, wasn't a reboot even. It was literally just an event that basically shows that people lost their memory.
Yeah, but everything
changed.
Their hard
because
first
people start
reboot
remembering.
was after
I mean, when you think about it, I mean, let's put it this way: if you say
DC changed everything one day to the other. Like Marvel's got like 2 things they're changing in May, and then like you got fucking. But here's the thing. Okay,
but here's the thing. But see, DC explains in the story. Like, okay, let's say for example, like say you had your memory taken away and you didn't remember who your parents were or whatever. Like you had huge numbers of people who had forgotten stuff, and then you suddenly get those memories back. You're going to be a completely different person when you didn't have those memories to when you do have those memories. It's kind of a common thing for people to be different when they have memory loss. So at least it logically makes sense that, the characters changed.
They changed every single fucking title.
What do you mean? What do you mean? They still have Action Comics. Wait, no, the Action Comics is still there, and Defective Comics is still the title, and then Superman. Yeah, then Red Hood and the Outlaws is still the Red Hood and the Outlaws.
They fucking relabeled everything. They relabeled every single comic Rebirth.
No, that was that was a special. No, that was a special.
No, look at any fucking DC comic prior to 2 months ago. They had Rebirth right at the top.
Yeah, that's the line. They're saying that this is part of that event and stuff to see what's changed, but now they got rid of it. That's the thing, is that was basically like, say, it was part of the event or like the change in the time, like the change in people getting their memories back. It wasn't really say like, I don't know. It's part of the title, but the titles were essentially almost the same, basically, just with the Rebirth logo on it.
It's like Marvel Now, but the big difference,
Marvel Now, yeah.
But the big difference is DC has done hard reboots, like after Crisis on Infinite Earths and like the New 52 after fucking
Marvel Now wasn't really even a reboot. Marvel Now was essentially like starting over with number 1s and still having the same characters. Really, it was just kind of like, I don't know what you say, focusing or something like that. That's what Marvel Now was. Rebirth is kind of
Now was cancer.
Marvel Now was actually decent, actually.
Yeah. I didn't like it. I didn't like that or Marvel 2.0. I thought it was.
Okay, I thought Marvel, All Different Marvel was the cancer one, because that's where we got all the SJW characters from.
Oh, it was, but the precursor to that. Yeah, but the precursor to that had fucking Thor, and they had Thor with that bullshit feminism crap.
Oh, okay, because so that was Marvel Now, that where he turned into a woman.
That happened right before fucking Secret Wars. You know what I mean? And that
Yeah, Secret Wars is
that in
after all the
itself-
outfit from Marvel, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And then you had all new, all different 2.0. You had Marvel Now after that. Marvel Now was before 2.0. So, I mean, it just progressively got worse. There was more and more bullshit thrown in. There was more and more crap. You had things like fucking Civil War 2, a bunch of other dumb shit,
Yeah.
like even before it.
The thing about, say, I guess the thing is with, like, see, DC Rebirth. I mean, the thing about Rebirth is that it's kind of like Marvel Now, just that they actually had like a crossover event to tie in, you know, where the name comes from. Whereas Marvel Now is just like, here's Marvel Now. Like, there's no real story to it. Like, New 52 was basically like, the 52 is the fact that there are 52 worlds, like 52 Earths out there in the multiverse. So that's why it's called the New 52, basically, you know?
Exactly. But what I was saying
so there was a relevant to that, yeah.
What I was saying
Whereas
was
Marvel is
Rebirth.
a relevancy.
Rebirth
Oh,
is
yeah,
like a
what?
branding also similar to like Marvel Now. It's like, okay, so
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is what we're doing with the storyline. It's like it's the line.
It's just DC actually planned, like, at least DC seemed like they planned out what they were doing. Whereas Marvel Now was basically like, they looked at New 52 and wanted to, in a sense, copy it, because New 52 was initially very successful, because it did get a lot of new people into comic books, and it did make a lot of money. It just kind of petered out due to editorial issues.
Yeah, it also pissed off a lot of the hardcore fans of like
the
prime characters, like fucking. So you're telling me I mean, you had to reintroduce the Justice League in a super short amount of fucking time that took like years.
And then like it's like, well, yeah, and then it's like apparently superheroes have only been around for 5 years. So apparently within 5 years, like Batman starts his career and then he gets all the Robins. Like that makes no sense. And then they say like the Blackest Night in Sinestro Corp War is part of that continuity or something like that. It's like insane, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
and don't get me wrong. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the first meeting of Batman and Superman in the New 52. I thought that was pretty cool. But
the problem with the New 52 is that they were trying to appease both the old and the new fans and stuff, but they fucked up the continuity where it's like, okay, we want to start over again, but we also still want the fans of the Blackest Night and all those famous stories to still get on board. So we're going to basically F over continuity because they want it both ways and stuff, which you can't do.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I didn't like the New 52 personally. I thought it was kind of crap. I didn't like the younger Superman. I liked him.
Was okay. Justice League Dark, I think, was my favorite storyline from that. I think Justice League Dark, Red Hood and the Outlaws were really good. I think those are definitely good. I feel like the more obscure characters in New 52, I think, were better than the main characters.
I agree. I'll agree with that. I think the big names got fucked over the worst. And
yeah, I feel like New 52 was basically SJW Marvel without the super cringy politics, because there were some cringy stuff, but they were minuscule compared to what Marvel did. Like it was really small. It's like you could kind of see it, but yeah.
Yeah, but it also sets the stage for worse fucking politics to come in, like that whole Batwoman. I thought was travesty. I thought that was
Rebirth.
Shit.
You mean Rebirth Batwoman? Because like the original Batwoman was decent, but not really too bad, right?
I'm talking about New 52 Batwoman.
Because I know Rebirth Batwoman sucked.
Oh yeah, it does. Like, don't give me anything in a lot of Rebirth line was. We're not talking about Batgirl. We're talking about Batwoman, correct?
Yeah, because Batwoman's a lesbian, so you're gonna have to turn into an SJW.
Yeah, there you go. Well, not only that, but it was like anti-fucking U.S. military and a whole bunch of other shit talking about.
Which is weird because she was
when it came out.
Oh, so wait, did she go off the whole? I'm a woman and I was a victim of rape in the military.
No, she went off the narrative that I was a lesbian in the military. The military found out, so the military kicked me out because of.
Okay, yeah. Well, that is annoying, but at least it's not that cringy because that is a huge thing where people are like talking about how horrible the military is because of how they treat women.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's the same victim narrative, just fucking oppression.
But it's like don't ask, don't tell and stuff, which. That seems outdated. Because wasn't that the complaint that Captain Cummings mentioned? Was that it's like that was relevant years ago, but now it's like just stupid.
It was relevant when I was in it. It wasn't stupid. Like the obviously the statistics don't lie. Since Don't Ask, Don't Tell has been taken out of effect, there have been an increasing number of homosexual rapes, female on female and male on male, has spiked.
Yeah, but when we talk about rape, no one cares about that type of rape. Basically, because feminists, it's always men are hurting women and stuff. You know.
Well, women are hurting women according to these statistics. Lesbian women.
Yeah, but feminists don't care about feminists. It's always about it's about hating men.
Yeah, well, of course, the feminists don't give a shit about facts. I agree with you, but like, Don't Ask, Don't Tell not only was there to protect someone who is homosexual in the Navy, because you got people from all over the fucking country and all over the world who join, different religions, different everything. And also, it's better not to just think of everyone as, oh, you're this religion or you're this sexual orientation. You are a fucking sailor or a soldier first, is what they want you to think.
Yeah.
They want you to have that particular Romanesque fucking military training. Like, even in fucking Rome.
They already want people to lower the standards. I think they're actually already about to do it. So they're going to lower standards for women or something like that. And it's like,
I think it's already happened.
Yeah, you're going to get people killed. That's the quickest way to get people killed and stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if I get shot, yeah, I mean, seriously, this is a joke I have where it's like, I would say, like, if Hillary Clinton had won the presidency and stuff, like, I think all of us would be drafted. Well, Ricardo, obviously, because he's in Canada, so, well, unless Justin Trudeau is that much of a cuck and stuff, and he actually would do it. But, like, I feel like we would all get drafted in her war with Russia. Like, absolutely. Literally, anyone who basically, like, who was against her would get, like, drafted in her World War.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lesbian.
So Florence would get would get drafted into the military.
But no. Here's the deal. Fucking.
How good is your combat?
Lesbian.
How good is your combat skills, Florence?
Very, very poor.
So, do you think we could request that Ricardo, you, Ricardo, Walt, and I all get put in the same squad if we ever got drafted?
There are certain waivers if that you and your friend are signing
what do you
up.
Think, what do you think, Ricardo? Would we make a good squad?
No.
No.
I'm too old for that shit.
Wait, what?
I'm too old for that shit.
Hey, according to Hillary Clinton, doesn't matter. You can serve. You're a man. It's your only job is to serve.
I'm gonna go transgender. Yes.
I think that works since basically she did the hashtag draft our daughters or something like that. It's like some stupid hashtag, so that probably wouldn't work. So no, but I wouldn't be surprised if it actually had happened if we all got drafted based upon our engine industry, where she has the FBI form a list of people who were basically saying negative stuff about her.
That's ridiculous.
It's like, oh yeah, there's this Comascape group. We're all gonna get drafted. Nerd Wonder gets drafted. Switchpoint gets drafted. Ricardo gets drafted. Captain Cummings. We all get drafted. We all get formed our own platoons and stuff.
Damn, no, I don't think that would work. I mean,
here's
the deal. If it comes to
then we get to March saying, "Oh, Kekistani people, we Kekistani people hate being drafted discriminately in the military service."
If the war happens over here in the United States, I don't think a draft is going to matter. I think you're going to have people coming out of the fucking woodwork. There's going to be somebody hiding behind every bush in the U.S. fucking taking shots at motherfuckers.
Yeah, but my point is, I'm not saying war here. I'm just saying is that it's she sounded like she wanted to go to war with Russia, and I'm pretty sure she would have opened up the draft.
Oh yeah, well,
again,
good with that.
I wouldn't put it past her and stuff, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there was a scandal where she literally was using conservatives or people with non-progressive or democratic opinions getting drafted intentionally by just having some secret server or something that the FBI made. I mean, especially given how corrupt the FBI is now with this whole, because you've heard about this whole mass shooting, stuff, right? Apparently, the guy who was armed guard didn't do shit. And these idiots are trying to make excuses for him, saying, "Oh, he's already going to be live with shame for the rest of life." Dude, if this guy had like basically done the same thing but with a woman being raped or something like that, these idiots would be like tearing him to pieces and calling him like a rape culture supporter or something like that.
It depends. Did the rapist have a fucking AR-15, and was he armed with like what, a 9mm? So here's the deal.
But again,
I've got a couple.
Again, if the guy is back his turn, if you sneak up on the guy, like take it from different angle, you can take him down.
Okay, so here's the deal. So if I'm an armed guard and I'm protecting my post, and this is total opinion, everybody has their own opinion on this, because I just had a conversation with a friend of mine about this subject last night, and he was like, if they had an AR, he was like, and I had a fucking regular gun. To start with, the cop didn't know what kind of gun the kid had. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he's like, nah, he's like, there's no fucking way I'd do it. I was like, well, I would try to eliminate the threat or whatever, but like I would take my. I mean, if you identify somebody with an AR,
but again, this is outside. Again, this is outside. Again, this guy was shooting from the outside. I mean, my point is that if you're outside, there's so many angles you could come and start shooting the guy at. You just have to keep moving, shoot at the guy.
That is not how it works. Also, depending on the handgun, you have like. Do you know how hard it is to hit a target at 25 yards? You know what I'm saying? With a handgun.
Far? I don't think he was that far away. And so the thing is,
no. I'm saying like, okay, so somebody has a superior weapon to you in an AR. If you do identify it as that, if you don't know what's going on, you just hear gunshots. Of course, you're going to investigate. I wouldn't just sit and fucking hide. But it is also police protocol to call for backup, and then after that, it's on your discretion what you fucking do with the situation.
Well, okay. Well, I feel like if you're trained, I think you could. I think a trained guy would probably be able to take out like a young, like an 18-year-old or some, guy probably never trained. Yeah.
It depends. I mean, I'm trained, and I don't know. It depends on the situation. I'm telling you, if you're in a school hallway, closed-in hallway, there's a guy with an AR-15 fucking.
Well, the thing is, they were in the hallway
down at the other end. Well, I'm just.
He was in the hallway. Yeah.
I'm giving you an analysis. I'm just telling you what would happen if the guy's at the end of the hallway and you come into the door looking for him. He spots you, identifies you as a threat. He's got a much better possibility of killing you with a rifle than you do with a handgun. Now, don't get me wrong. You could try to force it into a close quarter situation, which is what I do. I duck into the closest damn classroom because it's extremely hard to hit.
The thing is, here's why. Well, I get that, but here's the thing is, we see if you fire your gun at him and stuff, at least firing the gun, he hears it, like, you show that you're armed and stuff, it means he's going to focus his attention on you. You don't even have to take him down. You literally just have to draw his fire away from the student stuff because he knows that he has to go after you because you're the obvious threat because you have another gun.
You never do that. Also, that's not something that you do. That's not something you're trained to do. That's not something I'm trained to do as an armed guard. Like, you never fire your gun. You never fire your gun at anything other than the target you're trying to hit. You don't shoot a warning shot. That's not in any.
I'm not talking about warning shot. No, you can shoot at the. I'm just saying you can still shoot at the guard and stuff. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm sorry, shoot at the shooter. I'm just saying it's just you shoot at him and you can draw his attention away from killing other people and stuff.
No, because your bullet, if you know you can't hit him from whatever range you're at, your bullet will keep going. Your bullet will probably hit another innocent. You know what I'm saying? So you always have to be aware of what's in front of your target and beyond.
Well, I'm just saying is if you can get close enough. I mean, that's the thing is depending on the angle, because again, since he was outside, the angles are a little different than being inside a school. Because it's just the thing is, if the person could have gotten up close to him, then he could have tried to either take him out or to draw his attention away. Yeah.
No, I agree. Like, that's what you'd want is a stealth in your situation. I would not shoot at somebody I'm trying to sneak up on. I would not want him to be alerted to me.
I would shoot him once I'm within range, like if I'm close up and stuff, sneak up to him.
Oh, for sure.
It sounds like this shooting happened for like 4 minutes. I feel like he could have. There was plenty of time to try and sneak up on a guy.
Yeah, so I agree that he probably should have done something else, but I do think he's part of the damage control that the police are doing right now because of the tragedy. But at the same time, like, I don't know if I can really blame the guy on. I don't have enough data. I haven't seen all the video evidence of him because they said they did have video evidence outside footage of the guy posting up or whatever. I don't know who he identified or what. But he should have been making stealth moves to intercept the target.
Well,
I would have been.
See, the main controversy is that the FBI knew about this guy and nothing happened.
Oh, yeah.
And then the police also took forever. Like it was there's some very odd stuff that's been going that went on stuff. Yeah.
They were at his house like 30 fucking times within like the past couple of years or some shit for weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? And this guy was posting all sorts of crazy things. I mean,
and then there was also apparently CNN actually gave some of these survivors lines or something like that. Like CNN got busted for like that for giving people like
Oh yeah, I saw that too. That was interesting. I forgot which YouTuber did a video on that. But
I don't know. It's been going around Twitter apparently. So yeah, because I think Sean Hannity talked to it too.
Absolutely, but I mean, there's a lot of factors involved in on the shooting that is really fucked up. One of them is that once again he was from a broken home. It's not got to do with the family unit. If you look at most of the probably a very large percentage of the these mass shooters, they come from like single parent or no parent homes. Their family structure is completely fucked up. So I mean, and that just goes along with every other statistic that proves the same data along any race, any fucking in mostly poor environments or whatnot, but in uneducated ones. But this guy obviously had fucking problems. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, see, they've shown pictures of his school photos and stuff, and if you look at it, like he can't smile. Like literally, he has some form. I think he has some form of like I'm not sure if it's sociopathy, but it's like he literally just can't smile. Like he doesn't understand like certain emotions. So like instead of smiling, he just is like showing his teeth or something like that. Like he literally just doesn't know how to smile. It's really weird.
Well, he's probably bullied as a kid too.
Maybe, but all I know is that there's a hint that he basically can't express emotions properly. In like he can't smile, like he can't be happy or something like that. Yeah. Which is kind of a red flag and stuff, definitely, for someone who could potentially go on a psychotic illness. I mean, here's the thing is, with mass shooters, if they didn't have the guns, they would probably go on some serial killer murdering spree and stuff.
Oh, yeah, it'll happen because that should happen in China. Fucking,
a guy went around somebody.
I know. Killed like 27 people or some shit with a knife.
People just don't seem to realize that, again, it's like owning a gun is not like owning the One Ring from Lord of the Rings and stuff, where basically it's like, oh yeah, you hold a gun, you're going to have some dark power take over you want to kill people. It's like, a person who's going to shoot someone is someone who's probably going to kill someone anyway and stuff,
Yeah.
I actually had this talk with my grandmother, but she was kind of saying that we should instead of 18 to get a gun, you should wait until you're 21. But I was actually kind of thinking, if a kid at 16 or 17 or even 18 they could probably get a gun from outside. Like they could probably get a gun from
banning guns. Like a gang, you mean?
Well, they could just kind of get a gun from somewhere else if they can't get it from the store,
Yeah, because banning guns is just going to basically give like the black market criminals more revenue because they're just going to start selling it to people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not exactly. How do you guys feel about like changing up the? Just as an idea, not so much as just as an idea. What do you guys think of hiring the age for owning a gun?
I think if 18, if you can vote and do all sorts of stuff, you should be allowed. You should have to have a gun if you're considered an adult then. I just think, again, since like over 90% of all gun owners don't kill people with their guns, I feel like this is just a narrative by the media and like by Democrats to basically get votes and essentially disarm people.
Maybe.
I completely agree with you on that one.
Especially given how militarized the police are. It's hilarious that these people are complaining about the militarization of police and yet they want them to have all the guns.
No, it was funny as shit how their tune changed that quick. But no, also, gun ownership is a very extensive process. You have to get background checks and all sorts of other good stuff. There's nothing wrong with the system itself. But here's the thing. The more you get rid of guns, criminals are not going to be like, oh, they're already criminals. They don't give a shit about laws to start with. They're going to break the law like anyway.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're hindering somebody who actually goes through the right channels to be able to defend themselves from fucking criminals who don't give a shit about the law.
And then there's like these disgusting people who use these kids to like talk about how evil the NRA is, because like there's like one of those survivors was called like the NRA child murder or something. It's like it's something disgusting. It's like that was just sick and stuff. That pissed me off so much to do that.
Oh yeah.
No, so I like to troll gun control nuts, saying like, okay, they'll give you a list of how many people that die by a gun every year, and people will counter saying, oh yeah, here's a list of babies killed by Planned Parenthood and stuff. Yeah, you want to play the numbers game and stuff? Let's go and stuff, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like because like I think like it's like 800 babies per month or something are killed.
Oh Jesus, dude! I had an awesome fucking little conversation with a pro-choice moron. I'll tell you about that.
Well, I mean, I'm technically pro-choice. I just like screwing. Yeah, I just like sticking it to the pro-choice movement because they're like a bunch of SJWs.
They are, and this one was no different. Forgot her name, but I'll tell you when I get back. I'll be right back, y'all.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, personally, I don't really think that the whole gun control thing, like, I don't think it's really so much the guns, so much as it just really, if you look at a lot of these shooters, it always kind of just starts with the home or deep-seated personal problems. Like,
yeah, it's mostly anti-socialism.
Yeah,
that's been an issue. Yeah, same with Columbine. They just like isolate themselves off from the rest of the world, so they decide they're gonna do this sick act.
Yeah.
Same thing with serial killers. The serial killers have the same issue where they kind of go off into their own little world, and then they kind of start going out murdering people.
Yeah, and well, I'm not exactly sure where we could actually start with trying to solve this whole issue, because I think it's
mental health and getting rid of antipsychotic drugs will be a big help, because some of these people are on antipsychotic drugs from pharmacy companies that make people go insane. Like antipsychotics, I think are a pretty nasty drug that they put people on because they think it helps, but it actually makes them go crazy.
Would Adderall be one of those?
I think they are, actually. If it's an antipsychotic drug, I think so. Because I think people have been talking about big pharma for a while, saying like that big pharma or pharmaceutical companies are basically doing this because, again, people will pay them, and then basically it just puts people on this medication and then makes them go insane. So people have been blaming that and stuff, which I think is kind of true. So I think mental health and antipsychotic drugs play a huge part in mass shootings, because it's very recent now. It's like not. It seems like decades ago it was not as common as it's been going on today, and even then the numbers are pretty small. Like most mass shootings, they only count a school shooting if it's like within school premises, kind of. So like basically, if two guys after school is closed come in to do like a drug run or something like that, and they end up getting shot on a school playground, that will count as a school shooting. So when someone says there's been 18 school shootings, they actually aren't giving the reality that any sort of shooting that happens on or near a school counts as a school shooting. So that means we're a nation of 300 million people, meaning there are thousands upon thousands of schools. So that means if someone gets shot in, like, say, the most ghettoest neighborhood with a school in America, then that's going to count as a school shooting. Yeah, and it could just be two gangbangers getting shot and stuff on the playground or in a parking lot.
Yeah, I was actually kind of wondering. They said that it was like 19 or 18 shootings this year.
Yeah, so again, that's the thing, is when you take into account that any sort of shooting that happens on, no one even has to die, really. If a gun is fired on a school grounds or something like that, it counts as a school shooting.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be just two gangsters, and that will count. So people just don't mention that because they're trying to sell a narrative.
Yeah.
And when you look at the population, the amount of it's really small compared to all the other deaths that happen in America. It's a very, very small minority of murder.
Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, that's just the thing is this. I just think like yeah, basically we have a bunch of people with an agenda who are going to use this to milk it and not look at the entire facts. So they're going to give you half truths and lies to basically sell a narrative. It's one of the reasons why Chef Jack lost his mind.
Oh yeah, he's pretty into gun control.
Yeah, because apparently he had a well, I think it's still stupid to use a personal experience to become that much of an asshole. But it's like, yeah, no, it's like I don't mind people who disagree with me. It's just there's a difference between disagreeing and literally like getting angry, calling people names, and basically saying, oh, maybe you'll change your mind when someone takes pot shots at your kids. It's like I'm like, fuck you and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, F you and stuff. And I mean, I may reply. I actually replied to him and said that, like, okay, yeah, if someone, I'm going to give you that. Like, if someone stabs your kids to death or something like that, that would be like a hilarious irony and stuff. Someone stabs one of your kids to death and stuff. Yeah, that would be hilarious. And, it would be super ironic. Someone who basically was obsessed with gun control ends up getting stabbed or his kids getting stabbed to death by, some like psychopath. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually kind of wanted to take his tweet and basically quote it, but instead of using the term guns, I'm going to replace it with like Muslims or something like that, just as like a gag to mess with him. But I just didn't do it anyway. But yeah, I thought that would have been hilarious, like parody. Yeah, because I mean that's basically he sounds like someone like some fanatic and stuff, and I don't waste time even trying to debate people like that.
I mean, how do you feel about Eglinton?
Well, Eglinton's a nice guy. Again, he's different. I mean, again, Eglinton is very different from Chef Jack and stuff. I think Chef Jack is just, I think he's just lost his mind, and that he's just, now just using Twitter as his own personal, like, venting to, like, yell and scream and curse. Yeah. No, but Eglinton's nice. Like, he's popular and stuff, and, he has some pretty good streams. Like, he's doing, like, a comic book, like Fight Club, where people are, like, discussing arguing comic books.
Yeah. I tried to binge some of Eglinton's videos, and usually when I binge someone's channel, I try to go all the way to the first one because I kind of get lost if I just start just anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like, just some people, I guess sometimes associate themselves with really shitty, like someone who's has a pretty shitty personality.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's just like, so it's like he's a cool, like Eglinton's cool. It's just, Chef Jack is like just insane now.
Yeah. Oh man, I think I had this. Oh yeah, there was something that Fat Panther put on that Fat Panther he said about he took the title from this article called Elon Musk Slammed by Stanford Gender Researcher for Space Patriarchy, and Fat Panther just says space patriarchy is as real as the wage gap. Yeah, that was
okay.
Like
that's funny.
Yeah, and I think Steven Crowder also talked about it on Twitter. So about how they're feminists now. They're saying that I don't know what they're saying now, but I really think that I think it's kind of getting way too. I mean, it has always been kind of. It's always been whatchamacallit. It's always been over the top, but this is just like kind of pathetic because now you're making.
Say that again. Like, what is this?
It's just that with feminists, they've always been they've always lost their marbles. It's just that now this is like just ridiculous, just space patriarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, since Squall isn't back, I guess we could so yeah, for us, like I haven't really had a chance to write many more comic book scripts, so sorry I wasn't able to get back to you about like
that's
like to writing draw for a comic book. Once I stop being lazy, I'll probably try to write something.
that's
probably go for
okay.
fantasy because I guess fantasy is probably will probably be more simple and easier to draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you draw dragons? Because I was thinking a simple thing would be just like a story about dragons.
Yeah, I suppose I could probably draw a dragon.
Yeah, just be a story about dragons stuff, kind of like those, like like those stories where the main characters are dragons, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably something like that. That'd probably be more simple to do.
Yeah.
It's too bad they don't allow. It's too bad they're not allowing superheroes because the contest was basically say don't do. This isn't like they didn't want superheroes. I don't think.
What?
Oh, I think I showed you the link, right? It was like that publishing company wanted people to submit.
Oh yeah.
A comic book, a completed comic book for their anthology series, but they didn't want superheroes. I don't think. They just wanted horror, sci-fi, and fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too bad because I really want to. Oh, what?
Oh, what?
What were you about to say?
Oh, nothing.
Blaze, sure.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like ever since I heard about One Punch Man, I basically I created this character because I'm also into like Greek mythology involving the Titans. I created a character who's basically like a demi-Titan, son of Atlas, and a human being and stuff. Because Atlas is the Titan that holds up the earth, if you know that mythology.
Yeah.
Or he holds up the sky in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, he essentially, what was it? Oh, yeah, so he basically is superhuman strong stuff. And basically, I kind of calculated how, like, much the sky would weigh by saying it's like the sky makes up this percentage of the earth and stuff. So you could say roughly, like, you take the weight of the earth and basically, say what is the percentage? What is like 20 something per, like, I forgot how much sky is. I think the sky is like 50% of the earth or something, or well, maybe it's 25. It's like something. It's like, so you just say like what is 18 or 20% of the Earth's weight and stuff, like of like 6.6 sextillion tons.
Yeah.
So you take that. So that's how much Atlas can lift. So then you like half that or do a quarter of that for like the main character and stuff, since he's like a half breed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, so basically, yeah, he's basically superhumanly strong and kind of like Satima from One Punch Man. Not exact, like he's not like emotionless and boring, kind of like with that expressionless face, He's just kind of like really strong, and that basically when he fights someone who's equal to him in strength, like who actually gives him a challenge, he like becomes really battle crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that?
What?
Who's that?
Oh, I was showing Florence about a character I created after I heard about like One Punch Man. He basically was like he's like the half-blood son of like Atlas and a human being. Yeah, you know who Atlas is, right? The guy who holds up the sky in Greek mythology.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so basically my character's like superhumanly strong, and like whenever he fights someone that gives him a physical challenge, he kind of goes into like, I don't know, like a battle rage and stuff because he knows he can go all out and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Because like when he doesn't have to, he kind of holds back and kind of is like aloof and stuff because he doesn't really get like a thrill from fighting someone who's weaker than him. But when he fights someone who's like as strong or stronger than him, then that's when he goes into like he like starts loving the fight. Kind of like Goku and the Saiyans.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, so I was thinking a bit of like, Satima with a bit of He-Man as well. Because He-Man's kind of like, super strong as well.
Oh yeah.
I need to watch the original He-Man show. Looks kind of fun.
Oh, dude, I watched like every episode of it when I was a kid.
Yeah, like the theme song's pretty fun. It looks pretty cool. Sounds pretty cool as well for He-Man.
Yep, I remember when that came on. Also, then you had
Yeah, I also need to watch the Thundercats. I heard Thundercats was really great too.
dude, Thundercats was kind of crazy for its time. There were some really interesting episodes.
Yeah, Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight.
Well, I mean, some of them didn't even have to do with like Lion-O. Like there was one where Tigra got stuck in this cavern of time, and the closer he went in, like the older he got, right? So it totally
Who?
sapped out all his
Lion-O?
life. No. It was Tigra or whatever, the tiger one.
Oh, okay, yeah, the male tiger.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. 'Cause for some reason, I thought you were talking about like Chitara.
No, she was in it too. She's the one who had to get his ass out because she could run so fucking fast. And,
Yeah.
the spell or whatever didn't affect her. I mean, no, there was also like this other group that came up that had like fucking huge strong things, and
And then, of course, everyone's favorite, the cat, the sidekick, little sidekick, with this cute
Snarf.
voice.
Fuck Snarf. Fuck Snarf. Snarf is
Annoying. I know he's meant to be annoying as hell, right?
Yeah, very much
Lion has power over all cats.
That was such a horrible fucking character. Jesus.
Well, again, that's the '80s. I mean, back in the '80s, you had to have those really like those little annoying sidekick characters, you know?
Oh yeah. But yeah, nah, that was like.
Oh yeah, did you ever watch
horrible.
the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon? Because I watched some of those shows, and it was actually pretty good, actually.
Dungeons and Dragons.
The cartoon from the '80s, yeah. They're on YouTube.
Yeah.
The episodes are on YouTube, and it's really good. They did a really good job.
You want to see some really cool stuff? Look at Captain N, the Game Master. That was like a really cool Nintendo thing. It had like Simon Belmont, but he was kind of a jackass.
Wait, it was a show, or what was it?
It was a cartoon. It was an old school cartoon.
What was it about?
Captain N and the Game Master. A guy gets sucked into the Nintendo video game universe, and he pals around with fucking like all these different characters from the Nintendo games, and he has to fight other ones and stuff like that. It was a pretty cool watch, man, as a kid.
Okay.
Especially if you played Zelda or if you played fucking Super Mario or anything.
Yeah.
Or they even had like Simon Belmont from fucking the Castlevania series in it.
That's late, but this was back in the '80s, though.
Late '80s.
Okay, so so this was back when basically Castlevania, like the design was like less anime and kind of more like Dracula.
Yeah, exactly. It was a side-scrolling Nintendo game. It was a badass.
Yeah, I've seen the original because I watched Angry Video Game Nerd's Castlevania series where he goes over all the games.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like damn. Yeah, dude, Castlevania is a really cool like side-scrolling RPG.
Oh yeah, Castlevania 3 looks cool. I think it feels like that was a great one just because you get to play as multiple characters.
Oh yeah, the first one was really good.
Alucard. Yeah, that one sucked.
Simon's Quest was part 2. That was like the hardest one. It went
Angry Video Nerd did like a huge rage review about that one. One of his first videos, actually.
I actually beat that game with the help of Nintendo Power.
It sounded very frustrating. Like it was ridiculously complex.
Oh yeah, dude. If you didn't know how to do things, like Nintendo Power was a magazine back then. I got a subscription to it, and they would tell you like hard parts to get past or whatever in game. Like I was doing fine in the game until I got to that part where you had to fucking kneel beside a mountain and you didn't know what the fuck it was. I mean, like, it was never mentioned. It was never hinted at in the whole fucking game. You didn't have the internet back then. You know what I'm saying? To be like, what the fuck is wrong with this asshole? You know what I'm saying? Like, but no. It was a pretty cool game though. From what it was like you're leveling through. It was kind of tough, honestly, and
So,
and also,
okay, curiosity, going back to the whole talk about DC giving having manga creators, make short stories for their characters and then make anime movies based upon those stories. So who do you think would fit best with Wonder Woman of like the anime creators,
I don't think Any of them. I have no idea. Like I don't like. Are we talking about like? Okay, so if you're gonna, are we talking about pure animation wise?
Like manga. I mean, like a manga creator is going to make like a mini manga. Like say like a 1-volume manga.
I don't know because I don't know. Like comic books, I don't really follow creators as much as I do series. I'm more about the storyline. I'll tell you if it's a good.
Oh, so you don't follow manga creators, really?
Not really. I mean, some of the big names, sure. You know what I'm saying? But like, fuck. I mean, but you just know who the fuck they are. I don't give a shit really who the people who are writing it is, as long as it's a good story. Which I mean,
okay,
I don't know. But I can tell you one thing. I don't like well, it's not necessarily don't like him, but I think the creator of Neo Genesis Evangelion was a complete psychopath, and
but psychopath.
Yeah, I know. Well, he had mental problems. He's probably not a psychopath, but he's definitely fucked in the head in some way.
For what reasons?
Well, just because of the way his shit fell apart. He wasn't able to hold together his fucking shit long enough.
Oh, so like, so he's like no longer writing manga. He's like on the street or something.
No, he is actually. I think he's still writing manga or doing things. Wasn't it his fucking I'm not do that Godzilla.
I'm not familiar, but
told me about
something happened. So did he go crazy or something, or like what? Like so what?
Sort of. I mean, they during the first Neo Genesis Evangelion, like there was too much fan interaction, and also it seemed like
fan interaction was that
he was letting fans dictate too much about the creative ability of the show, stuff like that. They were having crazy stuff. Also, he was getting death threats from fans and all sorts of other fucking shit too, dealing with the show. But I think he did have like a psychotic episode or something like that in the middle of Neo Genesis Evangelion. It feels like it because the last couple of episodes, man, were fucking insanity for no reason. It was crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I thought it was great. I thought it was an interesting idea because you know, like how they say, like the joke is that if you look at most of the manga creators you like, they probably are. Most of them are total perverts and stuff. You know.
Muslims, yeah. Like
most of them are most of them are total perverts. You know, that's the joke.
Well,
you know, like that's just a joke. You know, kind of like how people say like, well, Akira Toriyama is probably a bit of a pervert deep down because he has like those funny sex stuff.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
So,
and don't get me wrong. Like,
I just feel I feel like comic book creators need to be a little bit perverted too and stuff. Like I feel like if Dan Slott, because Nerd Wonder said that Dan Slott might be potentially be a pervert or something like that, and I'm like, I want to say like, okay, if Dan Slott's a pervert, he just needs to embrace it and accept himself, you know, and give up all the feminism stuff and start writing perverted comics.
Well, that actually is very interesting because I watched Applebin's newest video that he just put out like today or yesterday. But it's funny as shit because they were talking about how well some markets do in video games because of character models, and they were like, "Don't you think that?" They were interviewing some dude who worked. I forgot what fucking game it was. It was a fighting game, but it's got some big titted anime girls in there, and the guy's like, or the interviewee, the cuck, whatever, fucking video game journo was like, don't you think that in a progressive world your game just seems not blah blah blah? And he was like, hey, the fans wanted tits, so I gave them tits. Was like basically his response. That wasn't his response, his actual response, but in a nutshell, that's what he said.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
that's the thing is like, yeah, it's just like, again, that's the thing is, it's like, yeah, like that's the reason why I like using hashtag make comics perverted again, because I feel like fan service and perverted stuff, that's gonna sell comic books and stuff. And I think, you know, if a writer is a pervert and stuff, then let him write perverted comics and stuff.
Well,
keep his attention.
It's not necessarily writing perverted comics. It's sex sells. It's actually,
I'm saying I think the guy who wrote SQDXD, I think he might be a bit of a pervert or something.
I'm sure there are. I'm just saying the whole idea I don't think is perverted because sex actually sells. Drawing a woman to look like a woman, an attractive woman.
I'm just saying is if Dan Slott is a pervert, he should embrace it and just, you know, start writing perverted comics.
Oh yeah. Well, there is something wrong with Dan Slott for sure. I mean, that guy's
so I feel like it's kind of like it's like being in a closet. If you're perverted and you use feminism to hide it, you're just putting yourself in a closet. And
well, you can look. Well, look at what Dan Slott looks like. Let's be honest. Like, no woman's probably giving him like the time of day, especially no hot girls. So he's probably got some deep-seated crazy shit.
Yeah, I can already see. I
aspect.
can already see perverted Dan Slott, like say writing Amazing Spider-Man when he like embraces himself. He'd be like, "Oh, MJ, will you let me grab your tits and stuff?" It's like, okay, it's like great. Now that you let me grab your tits, I feel like I kicked Jean Grey's ass. But oh wait, Green Jay's dead. Jean Grey's dead again. All right then.
Well, his whole Spectacular Spider Run, a lot of people say is some of his best work. I definitely think it was a.
Well, come on. I mean, you have to admit
story.
that would be hilarious comic if you saw that, right? Where like Peter Parker's literally going insane that he's allowed to like grab Jean Grey's breasts and stuff.
You mean Mary Jane?
Or sorry, Mary Jane? Yeah.
Hell yeah, damn. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, so, I ripped that from High School DxD, but that was just so funny.
Oh yeah, no, I love High School DxD, but no, like that was some of his best work. So that was obviously shit that he was writing on that he was in a good frame of mind to write, or something he knew, a subject he knew quite a lot about, being maniacal, manipulative, and shit like that. That seemed to me more of his power fantasy of what superhero is versus like the rest of the way he fucking writes it.
Yeah, it's like Jack Kirby, please forgive us when we're about to do this crazy stuff with perverted comics.
Yeah,
because I think I'd be great. I mean, it's gonna piss off. It would piss off the SJWs to know him, but I think it'd just be hilarious to do something like High School DxD, but with Marvel and DC.
Hold on a minute, somebody's knocking on my door.
Oh, okay. I'm probably got to end the stream actually. Oh, you there, Florence?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, because okay. We'll wait for him to come back because now I'll probably have to end the stream because it's getting a little late.
Okay.
Yeah. But
yeah. But
what?
Oh yeah. You heard about the rumors that that Sony was gonna be making a He-Man movie with Barbie.
A crossover of Barbie, you mean?
A crossover live action movie of Barbie and He-Man.
That sounds retarded.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but
sounds like pure garbage. What?
Yeah.
My bad, I'm back.
Apparently Sony is thinking about might be making a He-Man with crossover of Barbie.
Well, they thought of it. Well,
that was film.
Yeah, they thought of it. That was in one of the emails that Amy passed.
Oh, it was leaked? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that sounds really retarded.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they're both they're both toys, I guess, but it's like, where's the comparison? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's some crossover. I mean, again, it's like people just having a crossover is not always a good idea. It has to be good. You have to have a good crossover, otherwise it's just retarded. Because He-Man meets Barbie. That sounds bad.
No. Barbie needs G.I. Joe is what it is.
Okay, so like she's gonna be like in her her like famous car and stuff while G.I. Joe is like sniping. Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, I know the scene. So basically what's gonna happen is G.I. Joe and Barbie are in her famous car and he's like has a sniper rifle and he's sniping Cobra agents and stuff.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's like on the hood of the car sniping and stuff. It's like that would be pretty funny. But I mean, yeah, it's just having a Barbie movie in the first place just makes no sense because I know they've done them before. Like there's like those animated direct-to-video movies, but it just doesn't make any sense really.
Yeah, nah, they normally don't.
I mean, I will admit, I have no shame in this, but when I was a kid, I watched like the Winx Club when it was on Foxbox. I'm not sure you've heard of that.
I don't.
Yeah, I heard of it.
Basically, like how I guess not too long ago, a lot of those like those doll lines would get their own TV shows, to sell the product.
Oh yeah, yeah, a lot of people did that.
Okay, so there was a line of toys or dolls called the Winx Club, which are basically these teenage fairy girls and stuff. They're teenage girls who are fairies with magic. So they create a show where it's like Harry Potter, where like the main character discovers she has magical powers and she goes to a school for fairies. There's like a school for boys because the school she goes to is all girls. basically, and then there's a boys' school for like princes and heroes or something like that, and then there's like an evil school for witches. But it's like,
Oh,
yeah, so it's
wow.
kind of like Harry Potter, but with fairies and magic and more girl oriented. So I watched it because it was like Harry Potter and magic. So I thought, oh, that's gonna be cool. And it was actually pretty good. Like they actually did a pretty good job developing the story. Like they actually focused on making a story rather than just we're just here to sell toys and not give a fuck. But yeah, it was a girls' show. But it's kind of like the Powerpuff Girls. Like the Powerpuff Girls was meant to be a girls' show, but a lot of boys tuned into it as well.
See, I grew up with other stuff. One of the toy marketing ones that was a really good one was something called Dino Riders, and they made like.
Oh yeah, I know Dino Riders. I haven't seen the show, but I know what you're talking about. I saw like I watched the dinosaur documentary and they mentioned Dino Riders.
Dino Riders was fucking awesome. That was '90s awesome as far as like a toy campaign. Dude,
yeah, like, the show was good, right? Because I know the toys are awesome.
Dude, the show was pretty good. It won't bad at all, man. They had all sorts of shit in there.
What'd you think of? What'd you think of Street Sharks?
Street Sharks was all right. They seemed like a Ninja Turtles, basically.
Well, yeah. I mean, several things tried to do like Dino Saucers and Extreme Dinosaurs.
I didn't see those.
Okay, Dino Saucer I think was a little earlier, 80s or something like that. But like Extreme Dinosaurs was a 90s show.
Extreme Dinosaurs?
Yeah.
I may have seen it. I don't know.
Okay, well, Street Sharks looked interesting because it's like they did like a competition, like who would win a fight, the Street Sharks or the Ninja Turtles. It's not like the Street Sharks are more powerful, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have more fighting abilities.
Yeah, I think I might have saw that death battle, or I saw something.
But I gotta say, I love. Oh wait, I think that was the Battletoads. If it was Death Battle, that was Battletoads because Battletoads were a thing too.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that game. That was a tough fucking game.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, I like to for me, I like the design of the Street Sharks, and those toys were really cool because I had one as a kid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I like the Street Sharks design more than the Ninja Turtles, but yeah, I can see why people like Ninja Turtles a little more.
Yeah, dude, I was I was a kid when Ninja Turtles were a thing. I had fucking G.I. Joes, Ninja Turtles, stuff like that. I even had He-Man when I was younger.
Yeah, I mean, don't people hate? Are people triggered by G.I. Joe now because of I think it's too militaristic or nationalistic or something like that?
I don't know, and if they are triggered, they can go fuck themselves. I know
because there was that. You remember that Futurama? Did you ever watch Futurama?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know that they had the episode where they do a joke on G.I. Joe, thinking it's too violent and people are protesting.
Oh, not what episode was that?
That was their little anthology episode, where one's their anime characters, another they're some other type of. It's like their little it's an anthology where they have different stories. They're not part of canon.
When was it put out? Is that a recent episode?
It was after they came back on Comedy Central. It's not recent. Well, it's not on Netflix anymore, so I have no idea what season it is.
Oh yeah, but that's funny as hell. I think they were probably saying that in jest though, or being ironic when they said it.
Yeah, it's another joke on it. A lot of these shows like to do jokes on people getting angry over violence in TV.
Yeah,
saying it's hurting our kids.
Well, yeah, especially. Go for it, Florence. My bad.
Oh no, you can go.
No, I'm good.
That just kind of reminded me of that guy who said that video.
Oh, what? Sorry, what was that?
Oh no, you can go.
No, you can go. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, I'm just saying that that just kind of reminded me of the guy who was saying that video games are the guy who's like guns aren't killing our kids, video games are. I think.
Oh well, I don't want to say gun. I mean, I know what you're talking about, but it's well, again, guns don't kill people. Video games don't kill people. It's the people themselves that kill people.
Well, no, I think someone was arguing that it's video games that are the problem.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Somebody said that.
I will say that video games are kind of distracting people. You can say video games are making people either lazy or more distracted or maybe less social in the sense that they don't go out and talk with people, but it wouldn't make people kill people, Like
You're not by any stretch.
video games have their own negative side effects on society. It's just it's not that extreme. I mean, there is a whole thing where like some people are saying relationship-wise, video games might hurt relationships because some guys are just playing video games and like it upsets their wives or something like that.
Yeah, that can happen. I'm not gonna say that can't.
I mean, I don't hardcore game really that much anymore. It's just I just occasionally game. So.
Oh, dude, I love fucking gaming. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it can have that bad of an effect.
I love LA Noire. I mean, that was fun playing that again.
Like most girls I see anyway are playing fucking games on their phone. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Well,
the same
yeah, I
type
mean,
of
girls
video
like
game.
mobile phone because that's they like casual stuff.
Oh yeah, but as far as I mean, I'm playing a game right now. As we've been talking, this whole time we've been talking, I've also been playing a video game. So it's not like it's that distraction.
That sounds. I've heard. Where are you playing? Because that sounds familiar. The mechanics sound.
Oh my god! Can you hear the mechanics?
I can hear the noise, the sound effect a bit. But what is
dude.
it?
I'm sorry. My bad. I can turn that down. It's that's the Monster Girl Quest Paradox Part 2.
Oh, you're playing Monster Girl Quest?
Oh yeah, it's like fucking
You get raped?
No, not at all. Not
yet.
Nah, like there's. I mean, maybe.
So do they kill you when you get raped and stuff?
Sometimes, depending on the monster girl, depends on what type she is. But like some of the spiders will mate with you and then fucking eat your ass. It's kind of fucked up.
Oh,
but
and that's crazy.
The lobbying as well too. But no, like but no. Like my characters are so overpowered. I'm restarting the game in New Game Plus. I'm starting off as like a level 60 with all my skills. But I'm just going through it with different jobs and getting like different achievements. So I mean, there's no way I could lose. I'd have to lose on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotta say, like, that there's an anime Monster Girl Mezume, or was that what it's called? Like that anime. That's Monster
Girl Masumo.
Yeah, I mean, I guess whoever created that, I mean, that person must be a pervert in some way.
Oh, dude, I know I'm a pervert. I love this shit. I love that shit.
That's
too.
a little.
That's
a little disturbing for me and stuff.
Oh, yeah, but that's why it's fun. Like that's
I know. That's like
it fucks with people. That's why it's so good on like.
When are we gonna get that in comic books? I want to see that in comic books. I want to see Marvel and DC do something like that. Because like Marvel and DC need a hair, like, because that's a harem anime, I think they call it, right? Where it's like one guy and a bunch of girls that like want to fuck him all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, DC and Marvel need to do that sometime. Yeah,
that's like the exact opposite of every Marvel fucking comic book right now. But no, damn. Yeah, they could definitely get. Well, just changing the costumes back to how they originally were, and stop trying to fucking cover bitches up like it's the goddamn Middle East. And
they need to make porn and sell it in porn shops.
Like, oh, dude, that's already there. Like, there's already porn.
Well, no, I mean, but is it officially sanctioned by Marvel and DC, or I don't think so.
No, but it's better than.
So we gotta say Marvel should like sanction. Yeah, Marvel and DC should actually sanction porn, where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to have people who are actually drawing and writing porn, and selling it in adult shops. Like,
well, Marvel did rip off the idea of Ironheart from a Japanese fucking porno movie.
Oh God. Okay.
Nah, for real, look that up. That's a fact. Ironheart was originally a Japanese porno.
You mean a hentai?
Yeah. No. Live action porno.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was like what, meant as an Iron Man parody or something with porn?
Correct.
Oh yeah. So that means Bendis was looking at porn then.
Correct. Also.
But that's the thing. That's the thing is, I feel like with some of these writers, I feel like some of them are really repressed, which is why they use feminism like a religion to like kind of hide their repression. And they need to just embrace their inner perversion and stuff to start writing shit, and then they are gonna make their writing better.
Hell yeah. Because
like the Japanese, like they don't seem to give a fuck if there's like a total pervert writing the comic book.
They embrace it, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it's like they're not afraid to do something smutty like that. Because that's the thing is like there's no smut in comics unless it's some very disturbing LGBT pro comic or something like that.
Yeah, but also you got the Japanese culture doesn't have feminism to worry about, really.
Well, here, when you look at the numbers of feminists, actually, you really don't have to worry about it because it's literally just a small minority of people writing tons of blog posts, reposting the same blog, screaming and shouting and stuff, and complaining and harassing and stuff. I mean, it literally is. They literally do not have influence over markets and stuff. All they really just can do is like bully and threaten the market itself.
Yeah, like they have zero power, but
Yeah, but people
fucking,
just listen to them because they're scared of being called misogynistic or not getting laid or some stupid thing.
Yep, exactly. And if a company is really that fucking worried about some stupid shit like that, then fuck them. I've got zero respect for that company.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's almost like it's like these idiots are trying to repress heterosexual males. It's like really, it's like worse than than like the early like I don't know like the early modern period or something like that, where it's like at least in that era, both men and women were expected to be celibate and not degenerate and stuff. But now it's like it's okay for LGBT people to be degenerate. It's okay for women to sleep around and stuff. But men, guys are wanting to be perverse and stuff. It's like it's bad.
Yeah.
I know. It's like you know, like I don't know if you guys heard the term "fuckboy."
Oh yeah.
Okay, so like some people, especially feminists, will use this word and stuff. But here's the thing, you know, like how people get upset when you call a girl who sleeps around a slut and stuff. Like they say, "Don't slut shame."
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, a fuckboy is basically the equivalent of calling a guy who's interested in sex, basically, you know, a slut and stuff. I mean, it's literally the male equivalent of slut shaming a guy.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, and you see like these idiot feminists who use the term and stuff, and I'm kind of like, you do realize that you essentially are slut shaming men and stuff, and that you know if you're against someone calling you a slut for sleeping around, you really shouldn't be calling someone a fuckboy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's
And it's
all
kind of
about
like and then they complain about saying, "Oh, fuckboys are just emotionally manipulative to like so they can get sex." Yeah, what do women do when they just want to sleep around and don't want to commit a relationship, and they lead a guy on to have sex with him?
They call themselves polyamorous, and
Or they call themselves empowered, or like, "Oh, I'm embracing myself." Yeah, just like fuck you and stuff. It's like, yeah, if you don't like guys literally only wanting you for sex and stuff, don't go sleeping around with a bunch of guys.
Yeah, they're just fucking basic sluts. Like I think you hit the nail on the head, but
I know.
but
So
no,
yeah, I
like,
just feel like for me, it's like if you're gonna use the term "fuckboy" and you take a problem when I call a woman a slut for sleeping around, yeah, you're a fucking hypocrite.
oh yeah, that's a fact.
I know, because you know there are literally people like if you go on dating websites, there are literally women who have that shit in their profile, and they also call themselves a feminist. It's like hilarious as fuck.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, what's fun is like if you like in fact get a feminist in bed and stuff, they don't know that you're actually like an anti-feminist.
Yeah, I try not to date them. Purposely.
Well, I'm not. This isn't dating. This is like flings.
Oh, I try not to even fuck them because I don't want the damn immediate.
Yeah, no, they say don't stick your dick in crazy.
No, you stick your dick in crazy all you want. Just make sure they don't know your name, they don't know where you live.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like rape or like
some false rape charge or some shit. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because turfling monkey's all about yeah, be careful because if you throw away your condom, they're going to get that and then like what insert it in themselves and get pregnant. Apparently that's a thing where you can literally just take like like semen from a condom and insert it and just get pregnant. Yeah.
Hell yeah, it's a good thing I don't use condoms.
What?
Hell yeah, because I mean, still, if they don't know who you are, who your real name is, or anything like that.
Wait. So you're saying you have kids?
Not that I know of.
So you're saying? So did you use birth control or no?
Sometimes.
Dude. So you're saying that there's chances where you actually had unprotected sex without birth control?
Oh no, there's definitely times I've had unprotected sex
with no birth control.
Probably, I don't know.
So someone could have gotten pregnant.
Probably, I don't know. It's a possibility. I haven't heard anything from it. I'll say that.
You're such a scumbag,
dude. It don't feel the same. It don't feel the same. I'm just telling you. It just don't.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it feels good, but then there's the unintended consequences.
Yeah, fuck them. It is.
Hey, you know this is how God made us. the thing. This is how God made us: is that the more pleasurable it is, the more likely something you're not supposed to do it.
No. Oh no, I'm not even that guy. But no,
Okay.
I'm half-ass joking. Yeah, there's definitely times I've used condom and they fucking suck. Jesus, you can't feel
Well,
shit.
I mean,
You fuck for like an hour and you'd be like, why? Why can't I fucking come? This is bullshit.
yeah. What you do is you do that, and then if they're fine, they do blowjobs. That's when you finish and stuff.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah, this
fucking, I've
stream
never
just
had a
went.
great blowjob.
This stream
Oh,
just went from rated R to rated X and stuff.
hell yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I've never had a knockout blowjob from a woman or anything like that. I don't see what the big deal is. I'm like fucking, but
Okay.
no, definitely.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. See, I think one of the biggest problems with American society is that there's a movement of people who literally just want women to have it all, where they want to control the sex in the relationship. They just want to control everything and stuff, which is why it's literally just a movement of power. It's not empowerment. It's literally like supremacy and stuff.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say when you
and
were
it
talking
fucks up relationships because it's like literally this is infantilization of women. So like there's so many women that are literally being turned into children because of these idiots who basically act like everything needs to be handed to them. And it's like that really fucks up relationship because you can't be in a relationship with someone who's immature because it's just going to wear thin after a while and then it just ends up disastrous.
I wouldn't say they turns them into children. I'd say they're not allowed to grow up out of that stage, really, because
that's what I'm saying. It's like it keeps them in a state of now people are advocating that like the adult age of adulthood should be moved to 26 or 24 or some stupid thing like that. It's like that's fucking insane. It's like my grandfather was already working a job when he was like 13.
Yeah,
I know.
No, most families
sick. Yeah.
Most families throughout our history, like if you tally it all up in
13 was like the age of adult for millennia and stuff. It's only recently it's mainly due to I think child labor laws is why the age of adulthood went up because kids aren't allowed to now be worked in factories anymore. And then not only that is like with millennials, especially millennials have had the best childhoods almost out of any previous generation. Like we haven't had to work. We have the computers. We have all these shows, television. We have so many distractions that millennials have never really had to work too hard. And when they became adults, they become really depressed because, the world isn't like how their childhood was, That's why millennials are so depressed and killing each other. And probably why there's so many mass shooters because a lot of these mass shooters are all millennials.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, it's probably because they can't handle the world. They don't know what to do, and they take their anger out on wanting to basically kill people. You lose your mind and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But no, my grandfather, he grew up like in the Great Depression, and so he had to work super hard. So not a great childhood, but he's like, in his 90s and is like now successful.
Yeah.
Basically, we're all being domesticated. Like this is the progressive plan is simple to just domesticate us, make us dependent, and make us not want to basically be self-sufficient and always rely on a government. So we're part of this collective and stuff.
Well,
that's why progressives move in packs and stuff, and like conservatives tend to not be like that, where like we go and protest in like mass mobs because it makes you more stupid in the mob.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I agree. I don't think. I really don't think progressives are going to last very long.
Given how things are going, especially if you look at Europe, if Europe is any indication, literally like feminism, at least in Europe's case, leads to patriarchy because they are literally on their verge to an Islamic patriarchy. And I think it's been confirmed that literally when a society becomes feminist, that is a sign that it's going to actually die soon and that it's going to get taken over by another culture. And that's basically what's happening in Europe right now. And that if either they're going to become a Western patriarchy, or if they, wake up, or they're going to basically turn into an Islamic patriarchy. Either way.
Yeah, my definite bet is on Islamic.
Yes, but the unfortunate thing with Islamic
right.
patriarchy, given how Islamists in the Middle East have a very huge tendency to break historical artifacts and blow shit up, you know, because there's like video clips of them going around smashing Mesopotamian, you know, artifacts that date like over 10,000 years ago, you know, like 8,000 BC, because they've been smashing stuff like that, which is sick and disgusting. They'll probably go around smashing, you know, old artifacts, because like heck, I think like what is it? It was either Norway, it was some Scandinavian country. They basically started melting or destroying old Viking artifacts from like you know, from the very early Viking era, because they the need to. It's like, yeah, it's like really disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. I saw that shit.
Yeah, I know. But that's the thing is that they're literally going to destroy their culture, their history, and then the Muslims are going to come in and destroy it. And then they basically, it's just going to become terror. So it's going to become an Islamic patriarchy with very few benefits of like a Western patriarchy, because Western patriarchy at least kept our history around because we could find it.
Oh yeah.
It also shows you that basically technology didn't stop the reset, which is interesting because now you're monitoring, they censor everything. So Europe just shows that, oh yeah, technology won't stop it. We can just censor and guilt trip people through mass media manipulation.
Yeah, but it'll be their own demise. But you're right. There is a book, I think it's called Sex and Civilizations or something like that, that covered.
Yeah, there's also a book. There's a book that was written years ago. I forgot what it's called. It's a French book, but I forgot what it's called. But it literally predicted everything that's happening now. Like, it literally shows you exactly what happens when, like, yeah, they let in a whole bunch of migration, how Europe falls into like, yeah, patriarchy.
Yeah, but look at Venezuela right now. It's well documented that was going to be exactly what was going to happen when it happened, and it still happened anyway. Because
no one wants to look at Venezuela because, you know, it's basically Bernie Sanders. It's the one thing that will kill Bernie Sanders' like campaign and stuff. That people were smart. I know a lot. There's some people in Comicsgate that basically says, "Oh, Bernie Sanders would have been better than Hillary," and I'm like, "Fuck no," and stuff.
I don't know that he would have. I don't know.
He would not have. Again, he literally cucked for Black Lives Matter. Like, he literally let two.
Yeah, I saw that.
Matter. Yeah, no, it's like, okay, Bernie Sanders as president would have been. There were three things would have happened. Either he would have immediately been impeached because everyone with a brain in Congress, since it's Republican, would have found that he's it's like, yeah, you're insane. We're going to impeach you immediately and stuff, you know, and get rid of you because you're insane. Or we would have ended up like Venezuela or something like Nazi Germany, where literally it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to have my politically correct thought police, you know, taking your rights away and stuff, because he supports social justice and stuff.
Oh yeah, he wanted free college for everyone.
Yeah, and given how shitty college is, like, yeah, here's my thing: if education is shit, it doesn't matter how free it is. All you're just doing is raising taxes to give free education, which is already shit. It's like you can put powdered sugar on a freaking piece of shit. It's still a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I know. So that's the reason why, yeah, the guy's like insane and stuff. Yeah.
But college for everyone. Do you know how expensive that would be?
Yeah, they've proven that even taxing the 1% the way he wants to wouldn't pay for it. Everyone's taxes are going to go up and stuff. And when you and when you try to tax the way he pays for it, all they're just going to do is just move over to another country. In fact, he would have sped up the process of us being bought out by China, because China has been trying to buy us out and stuff. Fortunately, we've kind of started reversing that and stuff.
Well, he would have had a lot of educated people with not enough jobs to split between them in whatever fucking field they're talking about.
But like I said, you know, we either end up like Venezuela or we end up basically like Sweden, and Sweden's basically, again, is a cultural nightmare.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, no, I'm thinking Sweden, because Sweden did pretty decent for a little bit. Only problem is, if you speak out against the government in Sweden, then you can be fucking liable. Like, they'll fucking come for you and lose your job and all sorts of shit.
The thing about Venezuela is that literally when they started taxing all the wealthy people, everyone left. That's the thing, they just took off. So if people just took off in America, then literally, yeah, we would probably end up like Venezuela, then bought out by China.
Well, that's kind of what has been happening in Sweden. A lot of their big companies, whatever, that they were like, yeah, fuck this place, we're done, and they moved out.
Yeah. I think they meant to Denmark or maybe it was Norway, because one of those countries has basically like they have a very low corporate tax. It's just their income tax is really high. That's the reason a lot of people say that America really needs to lower its corporate tax. Our corporate tax is actually higher than most nations in Europe. Yeah, actually, Sean, like I think our corporate tax is higher than actually Denmark and like Norway.
Oh wow.
Yeah, our income tax is lower, of course, but yeah, our corporate tax is higher.
Yeah, I know that it's maybe it was Norway. Fucking just to
yeah,
buy
Denmark,
a car
your income tax is
ridiculous.
55%. Which basically is that's how I have to explain to socialists is that people are saying well, Denmark has a minimum wage of $21 and stuff, and I'm kind of like, you are aware that if your income tax is 55%, you're literally only getting around like $9 an hour if you're getting paid $21 an hour when you've taken the tax.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's like these idiots don't understand. It's like, and people are saying, well, your tax return is big. Okay, your tax return is big, but again, your initial money, that's once a year, and your initial money is still being deducted like that. So you still might as well be being paid $10 an hour.
Yeah, pretty much. Excuse me, Sam.
Yeah, so it's like it's a give or take. It's like a plus and minus to everything. It's like, yeah, you can enjoy all those benefits, but your pocketbook has got your paycheck, your wallet's going to be a lot smaller.
Hell yeah.
So one of the reasons why a lot of people come to America is because, because the taxes are lower, it's easier to get going, like, to get your businesses started without having to pay like an exorbitant amount of taxes. Because we get a lot of Swedes who come here. I think, yeah, because we get a lot of Swedes actually who come here just for the purpose of, I think, either getting into business or something like that. What do they do?
I'm not 100%.
That's because, yeah, we get a lot, but I know we get a lot of Scandinavians who come here for business reasons.
Oh yeah, and probably universities and other stuff like that too.
Yeah. People like to say our education system's effed up, but it's like, yeah, we get a lot of foreigners coming here, so we're doing something.
Well, yeah, there's a reason why people want to come here versus.
Although Harvard's getting fucked over because there's like that whole clip of someone says, this is not an intellectual space, it's supposed to be a home and stuff like that. It's something retarded.
Yeah, was that Harvard? I remember seeing
that. Was Harvard. Yeah, that was Harvard. It was one of the big ones.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was like insane. Yeah,
I would have expelled that bitch. She was talking to the fucking dean.
Yeah, she must have. Yeah, seriously, she must have either have a very terrible home life in that she wants to replace college with her home and stuff, and that's just retarded. Or yeah, she literally like what are you there for? It's like one of the most prestigious schools in America. Yeah.
The only reason why she would have said something like that is because she was brainwashed by her fucking gender studies feminist.
Oh, you mean lesbian dance theory?
Whatever cult it is that is running the goddamn soft sciences now, sociology courses, whatever. Whoever took that shit over, those.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, sociology is like, yeah, again, it's like, that's the thing is like sociology was literally just meant to study the behavior of people and the reasons for those behaviors. Now it's literally, oh, this is how you determine we're under a patriarch here. This social experiment shows that, the male brain has a tendency to this toxic masculinity. It's like, it's so retarded now.
Yeah.
I know. So it's like, you can use sociology to debunk these idiots, but you'll just be called a racist though. Because, I mean, look at the alt-right. The alt-right is using sociology as well. It's just because it's not the right type of sociology, they're called race, like white supremacists and stuff.
Yeah, but at least the alt-right, when I use sociology...
Well, at least the alt-right, you can... It's like I said, at least the alt-right, you can debate them and stuff. These idiots, you're going to get banned from class.
Absolutely. Well, I'm saying the alt-right brings up some very interesting facts. That's one of the reasons why... I think the one thing I noticed about the
alt-right is that I think the alt-right says that ethnicity plays a heavy part in the culture, which is technically true because, I mean, when you look at, compare Chinese culture to British culture, very different, and those are two different ethnic groups. So there is some relativism to how a culture develops through ethnicity.
Well, on the points that you want to debate the alt-right doesn't really like to talk about that. They only want to talk about the factors that they actually have hard evidence for.
The first thing I want to ask the alt-right, if I ever get into a discussion with them, is I want to ask them, like, the main question I want to ask them is, can you be against anti-white racism and not be a white nationalist? Yeah, that's my main curious question I wanted to ask them about that, because if you say you're against anti-white racism, the left is going to call you a white nationalist, which I think is bullshit, because I think you can be against all sorts of racism and not be called a racial nationalist.
Absolutely.
But I'm kind of curious if they believe that stuff, because that's one thing I'm curious about.
Well, which faction of the alt-right are we talking about? Are we talking about
I'm talking about, like, basically, like, the Richard Spencer, Millennial Woes, Mike Enoch, because they all seem to be part of the same group.
Okay, well, technically, I think they are white nationalists. I mean,
well, they are white nationalists, so I was just curious if by their logic, if they view that, in their sense, do they view that? Do they view it in that sort of way?
I'm sure they do. I think they've said that on a couple of
I have to see, but I'd like to ask that question just in person still, just to get an actual answer.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's the thing is, because, well, there used to be two alt-rights, but that's I think you mean the new right, because there's the new right, which is like the non-racial alt-right became, because people kept getting confused and kind of associating the alt-right with white nationalism. So it's split into the new right, because the new right, or the alt-light as they call it, is, that's the people who basically said we're gonna meme and ridicule SJWs. We're just all about civic nationalism, mocking progressives, being anti-socialist and pro-capitalist.
Yeah, that's the side I don't mind. That's like Milo Yiannopoulos and whatnot.
Well, I mean, we're all kind of new writers too, as well, because we like to use the memes, we like to joke about feminists and stuff.
I'm not really right though.
Well, I mean, okay, I mean, don't you? I thought you supported Trump.
I did. I'm very much like a centrist. Like, I don't give a shit.
I mean, the new right is kind of basically made up of center right, I think. I mean, I think the new right has a lot of centrists. I mean, there are some far right people, but I think most of the new right is made up of, just mainly capitalists, like militant capitalists and nationalists. And nationalism is a centrist idea at its heart,
I think that, and I also think the quote alt-right is also made up of people who were actually liberal or classical liberals.
Yeah, they're ex. A lot of them are either ex-SJWs or ex-liberals who basically, in a sense, got woke. It's called getting woke.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not only
like
that.
Millennial Woes, I think, was an ex-SJW. I think that's what he said.
Well, what it is it's seeing
all the anti-white male rhetoric. It seems like most of their origin, a lot of their origin just has to do with the fact that there was so much anti-white hatred among SJWs that it made them become alt-right.
Well, yeah. I mean, alt-right or new right. Which one are we talking about again?
We're talking about the alt-right, like the white nationalists. Like most of them, Millennial Woes, Richard Spencer, and a lot of them are they're that way because of all the anti-white racism that you see being perpetuated and stuff.
Absolutely. Well, what would you call Sargon of Akkad? Would you call him?
Sargon of Akkad is basically a classical liberal.
That is true, but at the same time, he's been voting like I've been voting for a lot of conservative.
Yes, but he's mainly voting conservative. He mainly voted conservative because he thought that he was pro-Brexit. And he thought that they were the pro-Brexit party, kind of, because like the Labour Party basically became a party of progressive communists, Exactly. They went from basically being, more classically liberal to essentially being, we're all a bunch of communists. Like Jeremy Corbyn is like a maniac.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like he is the poster child of everything that is wrong with their political system.
And then you had that woman, Jess Phillips, who basically was like another feminist psycho.
Oh yeah, she is fucking insane.
Yeah, she like laughed at the idea of men getting awareness for like issues that they have,
or getting raped or some shit like that.
I know. She's like, basically some form of sociopath.
Extremely. Damn.
But that's the thing is, I just think it was Sargon. Yeah, I don't think Sargon is a member of the new right. I think he's still a classical liberal, but people have been trying to call him right wing. But it's like basically Milo, Gavin, Jack Posobiec, Paul Joseph Watson, Alex Jones, you know, and well, Ben Shapiro, I think he's still a traditional conservative. Like, I don't think he buys into all that meme stuff, although he is pretty funny. I think, yeah, most part, yeah, those people I mentioned are like the ones who basically make up the new right. Like, the new right is essentially like punk conservatism. Like, you know, like how you have like classic rock and roll or just rock and stuff, and then you have punk rock. So basically, like Ben Shapiro, Andrew Clavin, Ben Shapiro, Andrew Clavin, Andrew Breitbart, Dennis Prager, and the PragerU people and stuff. Like, those are like classical conservatives, like traditional conservatives. Whereas like Gavin, Milo, not Ben Shapiro, Paul Joseph Watson, Jack Posobiec, and like Mike Cernovich and like Alex Jones, they're like the punk rock conservatives.
Yeah, but Milo Yiannopoulos has got the exact same views as someone like Sargon. You know what I mean? Like he himself.
I think Sargon. I think Milo is a lot more pro anti social democracy, because I think Sargon likes social democracy, and he supports capitalism, is anti-socialist. But I think Milo is was more libertarian.
Well, Milo actually self-described himself as a classical liberal in a lot of his stances, and I mean
that's interesting. Yeah, he says like he calls himself like a conservative and libertarian most of the time.
Well, he's not even really conservative, but I mean,
kind of. I mean,
he does have some conservative views when he talks about like gay marriage and stuff like that.
Okay, well, he definitely hates. He's against social welfare. I think he's very pro capitalism and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Very much so. Like, and so is Sargon, actually. But, like, it
depends.
Sargon just thinks there should be a safety net.
Yeah, I think Milo thinks less of a safety net, because I think that Milo basically believes that most of the West's success comes from democratic capitalism and not from social democracy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, it seems like the anti-SJWs are, like, I wouldn't call them the new right by any means, but I would just call them people intelligent enough to see that the left.
Well, he also Sargon also hangs out with someone like the Amazing Atheist, and you know, Milo regularly wouldn't like ridicule him. So they're obviously different in like their religious views.
Yeah, the Amazing Atheist is kind of a dumbass in a lot of.
Well, V is kind of easily is thin-skinned as well, and he's not a good debater. Like, I saw his debate with like Mike Enoch and like Alt-Hype, another alt-right member and stuff. And he's like constantly interrupting and just like switching subjects quickly. It's like he really needs to work on the debate style. It's like, I think that's a style where he literally his accent and how he moves quickly, like, will throw people off.
I've got to watch that because I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I think Kronos has it on his archives and stuff on YouTube, but it was kind of annoying. I have to admit, V was really annoying and stuff in that.
Was he?
Well, yeah, just the accent is kind of annoying, and then how he talks is like, it's just like he moves too quickly, so he kind of throws people off, and he kind of doesn't give people a chance to answer. It's just, I think the problem with Sargon and V, I think, aren't really good at debating. Like, they make good videos, but debate-wise, they have issues.
I think Sargon's pretty good at debating. I think it's
when he debated Richard Spencer, it was kind of not that good.
Well, neither was Richard Spencer. The only one that really shined throughout that was Styx. Everybody else fucking sucked, like equally sucked. But what happened with Sargon is they got into a bitching contest, basically an insult contest, instead of actually debunking facts one at a time, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Richard was like, that's just pure autistic retardation.
Yeah, exactly. Or no, the whole first
Richard's such a troll.
The first 30 minutes of that, when every time Sargon would get like mid-sentence, like first into his point, Richard would start interrupting him. So I was like, dude, like,
okay, well, I guess, but then later in the video, Sargon did the same thing and stuff. So it was kind of
dude,
he was doing a shit show.
He was doing it strictly to do exactly what fucking Spencer did to him. It did turn into a shit show. But if you look at Sargon debate that one jackass at that not VidCon.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know.
Dude, he ripped his ass apart. He destroyed Destiny on immigration. I mean, it
Oh
depends
yeah,
on.
Destiny. Well, those guys are kind of low hanging fruit because they were literally confused. Like they did not know what they were talking. Like they didn't know how to account
no.
it and stuff.
No, but that's every fucking SJW. That's him debating SJWs.
I think Richard Spencer. I think Richard Spencer as a whole is a lot more intelligent than SJWs. You know,
I think he'd make a great cult leader. I think he's got the charisma to be a halfway decent cult leader. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, you have to make he is intelligent. He is intelligent.
Oh yeah. Well, most cult leaders are. Most cult leaders are very
he knows how to game the media because I think he's perfectly game the media. Like, he's almost as good as Trump when it comes to gaming the media to like turn it into the way he wants and stuff.
Well, yeah, that's true. He does have a way. Well, the media is basically as free advertisement as it was for Trump.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the media's are idiot. Well, media's run by idiots basically because they thought that they were going to use him for their own gain and stuff, and Richard turned it into basically, turned it into like basically recruitment.
Yeah, I agree, but like, as far as here's the thing, when it comes to we'll call them the anti-SJWs or the skeptics or whoever. When it comes to debating SJWs,
I wouldn't use the skeptics. I think that's too specific. I think just anti-SJW is fine. Yeah.
Word. The guys like Sargon V, Bearing, anti-SJW channels on YouTube, the big ones. You know what I'm saying? I'll even put Monday Matt in there, even though he's kind of more of a left.
He's a news guy. Yeah, he's like a news guy. Yeah.
Exactly.
I disagree with Monday Matt on several things. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Like I don't have his same policies or anything, but sometimes, a lot of times we will have the same conclusions to stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the way we get there is completely different on thought pattern or what matters to us out of certain situations. Like I understand he's further left than I am for sure, and I'm probably somewhere center right or something like that. But that's just lately. That's only because I have weird.
Yeah, I feel like politically, Monday Matt is kind of like a less extreme Amazing Atheist because the Amazing Atheist is liberal. Like I think he is actually pro Bernie Sanders. He just happens to hate feminism and like identity politics. I think, but yeah, he still is pretty much, I think, politically a moron because I think he still believes in like Bernie Sanders like policies.
He does and he absolutely despises Trump. He was
oh yeah, he doesn't
I don't think
Trump, yeah.
No, not even a little bit. But fucking but no, I mean he's still kind of a moron. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes he hits on some points that are really great. When he fucking bashes feminism or whatever, he put out a video earlier.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the hilarious thing is because he bashed feminism, he's literally a joke among progressives. That's the funny thing. It's like literally his politics he's like an outcast among the political people he'd be hanging around with because literally every Bernie voter is going to basically be like a feminist in some way, or most of them are,
Or Black Lives Matter or something weird.
Yeah, so like by basically being that, because like people like he's like a pariah now. Like it's funny, like someone calls him like I'm pretty sure he's not MRA because I don't think he's MRA and stuff. But like on a role playing forum, someone posted a meme or saying, oh, you're like what is it? You're anti-feminist kid or MRA kid, and he's like on there and stuff.
That's hilarious.
I know. So literally, he's like become a joke. He's literally now become like a joke of the people whose like political side he might be on stuff now.
Yeah, but I think that's a lot to do with the left. I think a lot of the left abandoned their own party, like especially in this last election. You talk about states that were primarily blue states. You know what I'm saying? Hadn't been red in a long time, going red.
Well, I mean, if we take out the identity, even if we take out the identity politics, I still would have voted Republican just because, again, I just can't support socialism. And it seems like, the left and the Democrats are moving towards a more socialist slant to it. It's not the party of JFK and stuff.
Well, even JFK fucking, yeah. I think it's really bad to try to start.
JFK was not a progressive, like what we see today. He was not one of those people. Definitely not Bernie Sanders. Like, again, his whole phrase, ask what you can do with your country, not what your country can do for you. That's like the antithesis of a progressive narrative.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did want to work with the Russians. You know what I'm saying? During
and today that would make you that would say he's colluding with the Russians.
Absolutely, exactly. But I don't know. Like, it's really bad to even try to compare someone back then to any of the idiots in the Progressive Party. You know what I'm saying? Those are all fucking just morons.
Yeah.
It's
But
interesting how ideology can swallow.
But these are the
like
people that, you know, the Democrats want to cater to, though. So.
Well, not really. I think, don't get me wrong, some of the higher up ones, yeah, the ones that have fucking,
Nancy Pelosi and Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, the ones that have backstabbed and murdered their way to the fucking top of the hierarchy.
Well, yeah, I get. I mean, I'm not saying all the Democrats are like that, but again, they're not really speaking out. Like, it's been completely bottlenecked and stuff right now. Because I know. But I mean, there is the Democrats for Trump Twitter page, so they're there. It's just, you know, it's being bottlenecked. Like, they're literally kind of almost like hostages in their own party and stuff.
Very much so, but that doesn't speak for all of the American people. You know what I'm saying? Well, like, we're talking about politicians and stuff. Like, I think the everyday average normal person who could be like a little left leaning or whatever still saw Trump as like a better option than fucking Hillary because
I think Trump is a better option than Hillary and Bernie.
Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's very true. But they also, those normal people saw like the Democratic Party fucking basically steal the Democratic nomination from Bernie and gave it to Hillary. Basically, like, they were like, I mean, which is kind of fucked up.
Well,
that's like, that's
essentially if for me, it's like, it's just like the Democrats are basically pick your poison. It's like either you basically end up in a poor socialist country that's collapsed or turned into Sweden and stuff, or you end up with an extremely corrupt politician. And you're probably going to go to war with Russia and stuff and get yourself involved in Syria. So it's like, what do you rather have? Like, get into a war or basically face like cultural and economic collapse and stuff?
Absolutely,
but red lines, yeah.
But that is what their idiots fucking voted for. And what they did was they were like, you know what? No, we're not going to give this guy the nomination, is what they said. Because it was her turn. It was like, if you listen to some of their fucking crazy events or whatever.
It was her turn. Yeah, they say it was her turn. But I think deep down they knew that Bernie was also insane. I think they all knew that, yeah, your policies are insane. And even we aren't that, you know, crazy. Or some of us, I
don't think Bernie could have beat Donald Trump, to be completely honest. I don't think he could have.
I'm on the fence about that. But my personal opinion is that I honestly think that there were Democrats who thought Bernie Sanders was insane and stuff, who probably thought, you know, fuck no and stuff, you know.
Oh yeah, well,
and they also probably didn't like Hillary either and stuff. They just weren't allowed to speak. Otherwise, that's probably career suicide.
I think what it was is they could not stand the idea of running another white man. Basically, is what it was. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I mean, that's
a lot of the social justice warriors sure wanted Bernie despite being a straight white man.
That is true, but that's not what the hierarchy of the Democratic Party chose. Yeah, I think that's really what it was, because some of their fucking conferences, they're like, "Oh, you want to be the leader, and you're a straight white guy? No, are you stupid?" You know what I'm saying? I've seen them on video chastising their own people for trying to run.
Well, they could have fucking gotten any other woman if they wanted. Again, any other woman would have been better than Hillary, basically, because again, she's literally George W. Bush with a vagina and a Democrat.
Oh, dude, yeah, she's
even worse than George W. Bush, actually, because again, it's like during Watergate, I forgot who was it, but someone said that she lied through her teeth during Watergate, and he called her like the most dishonest person in Washington or something.
Yeah, that happened.
I know, so it's like, she's had like so many skeletons in her closet.
Yeah, that was possibly the most corrupt person they could find.
Yeah, and then there's like the Podesta email things where like that guy John Podesta's like drinking is like that spirit cooking crap.
Yeah, that's some fucking crazy shit.
Oh yeah, and he's like a pedophile. Like, they found pictures like that. John Podesta's like a total pedophile, and like he has like a Jeffrey Dahmer style like statue that looks like one of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims.
Yeah, well, if you look at that weird fucker in any of his videos, you can definitely see pedophile.
Oh yeah, no, he's a pedophile. And Anthony Weiner, it's like, that's the question is why. I mean, this is Washington, so people know what's up and stuff. So the question is like, why the hell would you run with two people like that and stuff? And then like, what's his name? Like Joe Biden, everyone says is like also potentially a pedophile because he keeps putting his hands on little girls or something like that. Like if you look at pictures of him, he's like always like, yeah, like touching other guys like kids.
No, I've seen those memes. I've seen the same thing with Barack Obama also. Like,
I haven't seen those Barack Obama. Everyone says that Joe Biden is like might potentially be another pedophile.
They've got one with Barack Obama and some Oriental little girl or something like that sitting in his lap. They're like hand touch, leg touch, blah blah blah. Like they were pointing out like every. It was some 4chan shit. It was hilarious.
But you also know like Bill Clinton also like is supposedly like he has like he went to an island or something. I think one of the leaks or something was that they're like they have like an island where he might have been like like there might have been underage kids and stuff.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
But yeah, because again, it's like with Hollywood. Like Hollywood and Washington have so many pedophiles. It's just the media isn't talking about it because it's going to hurt their money. It's like you can go after the Catholic Church because the Catholic Church is an independent organization that is not tied to all this money in the media and pop culture and stuff. But when it comes to Hollywood and Washington, that's money. That's money that could affect the media and stuff. Yeah, and not to mention someone could disappear and stuff. You know.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. When people attack like basically religious organizations, it's basically low hanging fruit and easy, and you don't have to worry about people coming after you and killing you. Yeah. Because like what's his name? Corey Feldman, I think his name. Yeah, like he basically, I think they say he has information that could bring all of Hollywood down, but he's not naming names of who the major pedophiles are. That's the only reason why Me Too is basically damage control right now.
Yeah, Me Too. I agree with that. I think the whole Me Too movement is a fucking witch hunt. That's all.
It is. But see, the thing is, that's what it is. It's damage control. Basically, literally, see, this is the thing that feminists tend to do is they always will take whenever there's bigger story to it. Feminists will always make it about themselves, which in turn means they shrink it and basically essentially ruin the awareness. You know, it's always about them. So basically, they took it and essentially made it just about women and stuff when it's a lot bigger than that. But that's what feminists like to do.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, because basically the thing is, what's the real story behind it all is the pedophilia in Hollywood. That's the real story, but no one's going to talk about it because now everyone's obsessed with this meat.
No, I agree with you.
I mean, yeah. So it's just So basically, yeah. So essentially, rather than talking about something that is really gonna be like bring the whole business down, they just want to basically do damage control and stuff and focus on women, which is funny because last I checked, women are far less vulnerable than children.
Oh yeah.
But according to feminism, you think that women are the most vulnerable group of people. Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, most of the feminist movement does make zero sense. But especially now, it's like bitching about something you already got. I'm sorry. Or wanting more than
I want maternity leave without having to have kids. I want a period leave.
Yeah, that shit's ridiculous.
I know, it's stupid. It's like, hey, I don't get that shit, so why do you have to get that shit?
Well, it was interesting because I've been watching this channel. The channel name on YouTube is called Find Your Love in Japan or some shit like that. And it's basically
waifu? It's a waifu channel? Waifu!
No. It was a teacher who teaches Japanese, and he basically shows you a lot of Japanese culture and stuff like that. But he recently started doing videos that are pretty fucking woke. They're red-pilled as shit. He was like talking shit about white privilege and how it's not a real thing. And this is from like a Japanese foreigner guy over here, like working in Canada or elsewhere, like at different universities, like teaching Japanese. And he also goes back over to Japan and asks them what they think of the term white privilege or Black Lives Matter, and ask their opinion on what they think about Trump and a whole bunch of other stuff because he's been over here. But he was like, take some responsibility. He was like talking mad shit about white privilege and all this crazy shit that's been going on college campus. These are recent videos, and he's hilarious. He's like his skinny little Japanese dude, and he's just saying he was like going over crime statistics and stuff like that. He was like, why is 13% of your population, and he's like, responsible of 50% of all crimes? He said 50% of violent crimes, over 50%. He was like, take responsibility for your own communities. Like, he was talking, I mean, he was crazy shit. But he did this recent one. What do they think about Japanese women thinking about abortion? And I think a majority of Japanese women aren't very comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them are like, it really depends on the situation or whatever. I mean, they still have abortions; it's legal there, but like it's kind of very taboo there because they don't know. That's just it's a big culture difference. You know what I'm saying? From what it is, like Japanese still follows very traditional gender roles, and they like having them. It's like those particular gender roles, but he's like, leave your comments down below, and I left like a normal comment I normally would make. I was like, yeah. I was like, I take a more naturalistic or I don't know, evolutionary look into this. I was like, yeah, I would never kill my offspring, but if somebody wants to kill their offspring, fine, because mine has the chance to compete. You know what I'm saying? It's like less percentage chances that my offspring will be able to compete in the world. Like there's less obstacles for them. And then you get that one jackass feminist. I was actually fishing for it. You know what I'm saying? I was going to see if I could catch a lolcow, but this one dumb bitch was like, well, I'm a OB and I could tell you that you're not killing anything and blah blah blah. It's not technically alive but beyond the 3 weeks on the first 3 weeks, first 4 weeks or some shit. And I was like, oh yeah, bitch. I was like, okay. So I linked a video that shows the progression of since conception and the different forms that the egg goes into a zygote, goes to multicell. It moves on its own instinctively up the canal into the uterus, and then like buries itself, or you know what I'm saying, digs itself into implants itself inside the uterine wall. All things that show signs of life, and is even called a life form at that point. This bitch even called it a life form because she was saying it's not alive technically because it can't feel pain and it's got no brain function. I was like, okay, by that logic, are you saying that people who are handicapped have zero brain function, brain dead, aren't alive then? Or people who have nerve problems who can't feel pain, they're then not alive by your definitions? This is what you're telling me. And the whole time I was trolling the shit out of him, being like, I don't believe you're an OB. I was like, you've given no evidence of that. I don't believe you. Go fuck yourself. You're trying to take a stance on authority, and I'm about to fuck you up. And I did this. I fucked this poor person up for like a while. Well, the last day on the coffee, she stopped talking to me after this shit. She was like, well, it's a life form, but that doesn't mean it's alive. I was like, okay, let me bring up some definitions for you. Since like you want to make up your own definitions. And I brought up life form, and it was like living thing was the first thing. And I was like, and let me stop you before your next stupid question. I brought up the definition for living, and it was alive, because they were saying that the embryo, the fetus isn't alive while it's in its zygote period and all that. I was like, you're completely full of shit. It's alive. I was like, by bacterial definition, by multicellular definition. She started off, she really pissed me off, didn't piss me off, but she got me going. She was like, that's not very scientific to say that's a naturalistic blah, 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 or that's evolutionary for such and such. And I was like, you are obviously a fucking retard. I was like, oh, so you're a little kid that just...
Well, again, feminism and science does not mix and stuff.
Oh, no, not at all, dude.
Hell, Christianity mixes better with science than feminism by a long shot.
It can, at least Christianity try. Well, it depends on which Christianity.
Well, I mean, fine. I mean, I think as a whole, I mean, again, if you take out the evolutionary theory, I think Christianity and science can mix. Sorry, Christianity and science can mix pretty well. I think it's just I think people take the whole creationism versus evolution thing and interpret as it can't be mixed. Because I mean, the Bible doesn't mention being against science. Really, there's no anti-science verse in the Bible.
There is extreme. Do you know who Ken Ham is? That idiot who made the dinosaur museum? Okay, he rebuilt a piece of the fucking ark. He's a retard. Bill Nye, back before Bill Nye sold out. Well, maybe he was already a sellout.
I think Bill Nye. I mean, no offense, I did think Bill Nye's crusade against creationism and stuff. I do kind of feel like that's kind of like basically him telling him that you have to raise your kids this way, which I think is being no doubt progressive.
Watch the debate that they did, Ken Ham versus Bill Nye, and you will see the mind of madness.
I don't really watch creationism versus evolutionary debates because I just kind of feel like I just don't want to waste my time.
Dude. Ken Ham has a huge following. He opened up a fucking museum that had people riding dinosaurs saying that they were together at the same time period. He thinks the world is 2,000 years old, roughly 2,000 years old, or some shit like that. You
can believe that if he wants to. He opens a museum. It's no different than opening up a museum for like vampires or something like that.
Well, yeah, but
I mean, there are people who believe vampires are real and stuff. I mean, it's not nothing new and stuff. I mean, I just think people believe the hype, and I think really, I mean, given where we are now, I'm pretty sure these people are less of a threat than progressives who literally are going to get you arrested. Like, questioning creationism isn't going to get you put in jail for a thought crime compared to saying, I don't believe transgenderism should ever be introduced to kids and stuff. Because it can have your kids taken away from you, yeah.
You're absolutely right. I think the progressives are a much bigger threat right now. But back then, this happened years ago.
Okay, I mean, years ago, I mean, they didn't really have any political power. That's the point. I just feel like sometimes people believe the hype and stuff when it's just not there. It's like the old Tide Pod thing. Like, Tide Pod was actually a very small epidemic, but the media made it bigger than it actually was. They made actually the situation worse because they wanted to basically get clicks. So I just feel like sometimes feel like the creationism thing is kind of just, it gets more traction than it needs to, just because people want, to have talk about the controversy.
Oh yeah, well, it's a circular argument because one can't prove the other, really.
Well, my point is that I just feel like the Bible itself doesn't say anything about being anti-science. The only thing you can mention is like not believing in evolution stuff, and aside from that, everything else pretty much checks out and stuff.
Well, I think they're allegories. I think they're lessons to be learned. But as far as
there's nothing that says, "Hey, biology is fake," or thou shall not study physics or something like that.
Well, yeah, but physics really wasn't invented.
No, but I'm just saying is there's no thou shall not study this thing because science is the work of the devil.
Well, they probably don't.
Literally, most people say like, this is the work of the devil. That's not from the Bible. That's just, their personal beliefs and stuff. Because the Bible doesn't say you should or shouldn't, so you just interpret it the way you want to, because human beings, I think in general, when someone says you should, when there's no, you don't do this or you can do this, they'll just interpret however they want to. That's just how human beings are when there's no yes or no given to them,
Absolutely.
It's you still have it's like with guns. Like, say people say yes you should always have guns, or people say no, you should never have guns. So people are going to basically say, okay, I believe people should be allowed to have guns. I believe people shouldn't be allowed to have guns.
Oh yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. Like, there is a bunch of crazy stuff in the Bible, like fucking blood rituals. I mean, you name it. Like sacrifices.
Well, let's be honest. Blood rituals and sacrifices, that's what everyone did back in the ancient times. It's like, again, it's the equivalency. Again, it's no different than basically a bunch of gay people having a fucking orgy or dressing out as animals in a freaking pride parade. I mean, let's look at a pride parade, man.
Well, honestly,
have you ever been to a pride parade? Have you ever seen a pride parade?
I have never been to a pride parade.
Yeah, just look at the pics just look at the pics. Look at San Francisco and Seattle's pics, and I think there's not really too much to argue. I mean, sacrifice is something different, but yeah.
I'll take your word on that. I'll probably not look up those pics, but no, you still have religious motivated blood sacrifices going on.
Yeah,
even today.
But that's kind of
like if you look at circumcisions.
Well, blood sacrifices were technically, if it wasn't animals, human beings. I think they spoke out against that. Like, there was an example, but then they told them not to do that.
No, they've been doing that the whole time, dude. I'm trying to tell you, like.
They broke out the blood sacrifice. I think that's against that would be in. That wouldn't be part. I think the Bible spoke out against that because there's a story where he tries to do that, but then it says no at the last second.
No, I'm telling you, it's still present in religion today, though. If you look at circumcisions, that's still a blood sacrifice.
Oh,
That's
okay.
still
Well, not killing anyone. Yeah, you mean?
Oh no, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm not
Oh,
not
okay.
necessarily.
Oh, I thought you were talking about killing people. It's like, whoa.
Well, no, I mean, you can't do that shit. I mean, I'm sure there's some fucking crazy places that would attempt that or do weird shit somewhere out there in the fucking.
I don't know.
jungle.
An uncircumcised penis still looks a little ugly, actually.
Yeah, Well, I'm saying it's not like a medical issue. Like,
well, it's not a medical issue.
beyond-
I'm just saying aesthetically, it does look kind of ugly stuff compared to a circumcised one.
I have no.
Well, most porn. That's kind of how it's been portrayed. Like all of like sex toys, like dildos, they all are circumcised penis and stuff.
Well, shit. Some of them are fucking like worse than that, but not like I'm saying. Well, that depends on what porn you're watching, also. But no,
most dildos tend to, yeah.
It's unnatural though. Like, what other species in the world does blood sacrifice to themselves, especially when it comes to like genital mutilation or something? What I'm saying is that it's still a ritual that has been carried out that is strictly religious in nature. You know what I'm saying? There's no getting around it. That was like the Judeo Christian, well, the Jews that you could thank for that shit. But
yeah.
But the only reason they did that shit is to know who they were compared to who every other tribe was. Probably because they looked like every other fucking tribe, like from where they came from.
Oh, so you're telling me is that they would just like drop their pants and show their penis?
Dude, they weren't wearing pants back then. You'd be
they just lift up their robe and show the penis.
Well, I mean, look, especially back then, dude, the loincloths or whatever the fuck they were probably wearing was probably meant for like desert conditions. I'm pretty sure. Fucking.
Yeah, I probably should cut off the stream. It's getting a little late.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so anyway, people, this has been an Age of Shitlords. So next week, I'm pretty sure will be an extreme stream. So remember, Age of Shitlords is going to be more of an internet blood sports type stream, whereas extreme stream will try to be more serious and more like more structured discussion, like specific topics. So just tune in next Saturday for I think an extreme stream. So this has been a great time. I'm King Billy. I was on stream with Ricardo, Super Darkwater, Florence, and Gualtzilla. You can find them all on Twitter, although Gualt has a new account, which I think is Apex Troll, right?
Yep, that's me.
Yep, Apex Troll 1, or that's your address, right?
Yeah, that's my address, all one word.
Yeah, you can also find me at obnoxious_virus. And what's your address, Florence, again? Are you there, Florence? Huh.
I think I hear his TV.
Yeah, he just took off. Okay. So yeah, but I think you can find Florence's Twitter accounts, pretty easily. So.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, this has been another extreme stream, and hope you guys had a good time. We're going to be signing out.